Are you ready? 20 seconds start now. Ten seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, hello everybody. Hello Cheese. Hello world. Here we are. Everybody's here for the Lights Out Sports Podcast. Myself, Mike Valentine, and my buddy Cheese. Cheese, how you been this week, sir?
I have been swell. It's been a swell week so far. How is Mike Valentine?
Holiday weekend. I was telling you kind of off air. I pretty much worked it all. My daughter's grown. They're out of the house, and a lot of other kids or people that I work with have kids, so I worked a lot of stuff. I slept pretty much the entire day away yesterday to catch up, but it is Tuesday. I am back, and there is no more overtime for the rest of the week. So,
nice.
Yeah, I'm going to spend some time with my wife a little bit, stuff like that. So
you could watch the Reds. Oh, no, you don't want to.
No, last I saw it was 3-0. We'll get to the National League next week, but what we're going to do it this week, we're going to look at the American League and decide who should be buyers and who should be sellers. I can't wait to get your opinion on some of those teams, but thank God I can wait for another week before I have to decide about my Reds.
Yeah, I was going to say something, but let's just wait till next week, okay?
Okay. Oh, man.
Because then we'll get into it, so yeah.
Yes, we will get into it. We're also going to do a trade deadline show. We're also going to do a show on the upcoming collective bargaining agreement, so stay tuned for both of those. I know as the football season gets closer, we'll do some more football stuff. We'll probably do some different things there. We've talked about, I don't want to put Cheese on the spot too much. We've talked about maybe doing the Hall of Fame game live. With a watch along. I don't know how exciting or possibly boring that would be, but
I watch the whole thing every year. What day of the week is it? Is the question?
Yeah, that's true. What day of the week is the question? That is 100% true. We'll have to check into it more.
So we're not going to guarantee that. We're not guaranteeing that at all. Our schedules are very different, so.
They are. We get together every Tuesday with all of you right here on the Lights Out Sports Podcast. But beyond that, it's kind of wishy-washy. You know, we're trying to do a separate Lights Out list show, and every time we come on here, we're like, okay, are we going to do it then? Are we going to do it here? Or are we going to record it? Or are we going to do it live? So let me ask all of you guys, comment, direct message us on X and everything else if you guys can. Tell us what you'd like to see from us in an additional show. Do you like the Lights Out list that we do? Would you possibly like to see something different? Would you like to see it live? Are you okay with it being recorded, which is easier for us, but we don't always do what's easy, so it's fine. Let us know in the comments what you guys would like to see from us, and we'll go from there. Go ahead, Chief.
I have a date and time. It'll be Thursday, August 6th at 8 Eastern or 5 your time. So
I could probably make that work.
Yeah, I can make that work.
Okay.
Yeah. I can make that
All right, so do we commit to it right here, right now, live?
No.
On Lights Out Sports Pod? No, we do not.
No, I mean, I think we can. I mean, it shouldn't be a problem at all. I'm off of work by then, so it shouldn't be a problem.
A 90% guarantee that we will do the Hall of Fame game live.
Actually, 93.7. 93.7% chance.
All right, and that is on Thursday. What's
August 6th. August 6th. It's
Thursday,
Arizona
August
Cardinals
6th.
versus
Carolina Panthers, right?
Yes. At
Okay.
Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio.
Who's Tom Benson?
I don't know. That's the stadium's named after
Okay,
him.
just the stadium name. I figured it was named after some football famous person. I mean, and you're the football famous guy. I figured you would know.
He is somebody who's, it says here, someone whose stadium is named after him.
Well, that's a plethora of information, sir. Oh boy! Don't you love it when the show starts out this way? We're just
Well,
gonna
is
start.
that
We're
my-
gonna have like 8 people with us by the end of this show.
Okay, he used to own the Saints. Okay, he used to own the Saints. Tom Benson. Okay, it makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now that we
Okay.
got that out of the way, we got a couple of comments that we'll get to here in just a moment before we start everything, because we will do the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5. It's actually presented by Deutsch Snacking Company. We'll get to them in a moment too. One of our newest sponsors here on the Lights Out Sports podcast, and then we will do our 5 Flamin' 5 and 5. Let me look at the comments and see. We got a couple things here.
Hello.
Hello to you. We appreciate you coming on.
I was
with us.
going to
Thank
say
you
your
very
name,
much.
but I'm going to mispronounce it. And Mike will
Yeah,
definitely
and you know
mispronounce
I'm
it.
really going to
He's-
screw it up. So
He's way worse. You know, some people on my channel will like get mad at me if I mispronounce like a last name of an NFL player. It's just like, sorry, but I can't just sit there and Google how to pronounce everyone's name. They get so mad. They get
yeah,
so
we can't be
butthurt.
perfect.
No,
I mean,
we can't.
do you imagine the pressure that we would be under if we were perfect all the time? That's immense pressure.
A Seahawks fan was losing their mind that apparently it's not Bowie Mafe. Apparently it's something a little different, but that's what I've always said. And now he's a Bengal. So we'll figure it out at some point. Mike and I will figure out how to say Bowie Mafe correctly.
We will, but I'm not even going to attempt it right at the moment. But
No.
we'll figure it out. I'll watch a few Bengals games, and we'll figure out how Lapham and those guys say it over there on the Bengals broadcast, and Anthony Munoz and
See, they will probably get it right.
Ray
So we'll learn
Horn
from
is
them.
the other gentleman's name. I'm trying to remember everybody's name. We'll figure it all out.
Okay.
And then Ramen.
Yeah.
Happy to see my favorite duo. Oh, it's so nice.
It's very
I know
nice.
you really prefer one of us, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Yeah, she prefers you. She says
Yeah.
you're much better.
Mm-hmm. She's lying.
Yeah. She's like, I prefer the baseball guy. That's what she said. Yeah.
Well, this is going to be predominantly a baseball show. It probably will be for a few weeks because there's just not a whole lot going on in football right at the moment, as most of you guys know. But we have, Cheese has combed through everything and has found a few football subjects for us to get on to. We're going to look at Brandon Ayuk, and we're going to look at, I can't wait to get into this one. We're going to look at a disturbing trend in coaching in the NFL. We'll talk about that here in
And we have a
few
poll
moments.
question about it.
And we
Tell us about the
do.
poll question.
We will talk about the poll question. You probably need to remind me because I got all this other stuff going on around me. And I didn't put anything up in front of me about the poll question. So that's your one job, all right? Remind me about the poll question.
Tell us where your ex is so they can go vote right
You
now.
can certainly go vote. Let me get over to it here real fast so that I can tell you exactly how it's worded and stuff here. So it is the poll question of the day. And of course, the mouse won't cooperate, won't scroll fast enough for me here. But
By the way, his X account is All Gloves Off SM. All Gloves Off and then SM. And you can go find the poll question there.
it's on the very top. It says, hello, football fans. Do you realize that 70% of the head coaches in the National Football League have been with their teams 3 years or less? Is this good for the sport? And we ask you a real simple yes or no. And let's see here. Over 241 people have viewed this so far today, and it is within like 8 points of each other.
It's close. It's
very close. So all of you jump on to that X link as Cheese already gave it to you. All Gloves Off SM. You can jump on there and vote right now, and we'll give you the results of the poll question here in just a little bit. Before we do that, Cheese, we got to do the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5, and it's presented by Deutsch Snacking Company. That's right, Deutsch Snacking Company. We got 4 sponsors now, and Deutsch is one of them. All Gloves Off Sports Media is proudly sponsored by them with thousands of verified 5-star reviews. Cheese, are you trying to eat better? Fans, Do you read labels and you want things like low sugar or gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, and no artificial junk? But you also want things like protein-packed and clean, pure ingredients. And did I mention, by the way, that it's cookie dough? You can spoon it, you can bake it, because it's 100% safe to either eat raw out of the container or you can bake it. It comes in a single jar, a 4-pack where you get 1 free, a 6-pack where you get 2 free, and an 8-pack where you can get 3 free. Plus, they come in 4 scrumptious flavors. I have tried them all. Chocolate chip, basic witch with a B, that's a sugar cookie, birthday cake, and my personal favorite, WTF fudge. It's only $7.99 a jar, but bundle was already mentioned, and the cost drops dramatically. So speaking of cost savings, you can also get free shipping on orders of $45 or more. I know I don't have the scan code up on the screen right at the moment. We'll have that by next week. So you scan the special QR code. It'll take you right to the site where they sponsor us, and you can support both yourself being healthy and All Gloves Off Sports Media through the Lights Out Sports Podcast. 20% less carbs, 50% less sugar, 3 times the protein, 0 guilt, and 4 great flavors. That is Deutsch Cookie Snacking Company. Cheese, go ahead, buddy. I've interrupted you like 3 times because you had no idea how long that read was going to be.
Speaking of 8-pack, I mean, I got one. No, I don't. I'm at 15, maybe.
All right, so we got that out of the way. We thank them for their sponsorship. Appreciate it. We've got some really good things going on right the moment. Let me get to this one real quick. This is our buddy Roger over at the Red Hot Reds podcast.
Sure.
Turns out Kyle Schwarber is pretty good. So I take it he's done something tonight at Great American Ballpark because the Phillies are in town playing the Cincinnati Reds. All right, the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5 is this. I give Cheese 5 questions. He has 5 minutes to answer them. If he answers them before the timer goes to 0, he will not burst into flames, and he will get a bonus question, which I guarantee you he's going to love this bonus question. It's something he's been on the bandwagon for weeks and weeks now. So, yes, if you get this one, you're really gonna like the bonus question here. So we will start as soon as I'm done reading the first question. Let me get to where everything needs to be here. We're going to start the music first. All right, Cheese. And then we'll be ready for a countdown here. Let me get to the actual questions. That's right. Stretch yourself out. Get yourself ready. Is here. Can't wait for the 5th one, by the way. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
Number 1. Nolan Arenado had some durability issues and question marks coming into the season when the Diamondbacks acquired him. He has appeared in 84 of 90 games. He's so far made only 4 errors at third base. He is +3 and outs above average at third base, which is the 8th best in baseball. He's got 26 extra base hits, which ranks him as the 10th among third basemen in baseball. So, Cheese, do you think the Diamondbacks are happy with that production?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you probably want a little bit more from your third baseman. I don't think, if you just look at like third basemen in general, is he doing, a lot compared to, some of the best ones? No, but he's certainly better than last year. So if the Cardinals thought they were, the Diamondbacks are getting the same guy as they got last year, no, he's probably, he's definitely hitting better than he did last year for sure. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think they could have expected any more than that. He's gradually kind of gone down as the years gone on, as he's gotten older. But like I said, he's certainly
we all
much
do
better
that.
than last. Yeah, but I mean, he's just been better than last. Last year was a disaster for him. He's definitely been much better.
All right. So question number 2, sir. The Atlanta Braves have signed Andrew McCutchen to a minor league deal. Is Kutch hanging on too long, or are the Braves just that desperate?
So they do this. They like to sign veterans that have been around for a long time and put them in AAA, maybe to motivate the AAA guys, to have them learn from them. Remember when they signed Ryan Howard when he was way past his prime, just hanging on, trying to still play baseball. He was like 36, 37 years old. He played the whole year for Gwinnett, their AAA team. So they do this. Yeah, some of them do end up getting called up. Rowdy Tellez was called up. He's back with AAA now.
They just reassigned him. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, so they do this. I don't think there's any chance McCutchen plays for the Braves. They love to bring in veterans who are all-stars who had success and just help young guys learn from them.
All right, so I see comments. If you guys are commenting on these things, we'll get to you in just a moment. I got to only give him 5 minutes, so let's go with question 3. J.P. Crawford reached 1,000 games over the weekend, but only 7.3%. I was really shocked about this. Only 7.3% of Major League Baseball players actually reached that mark, 1,000 games played. What does this say about the league and their players, Cheese?
Well, it's overall players. A lot of pitchers don't. More hitters do. A lot of pitchers just get hurt. Their shoulders or elbows break. So I'm not sure. As far as hitters go, it's probably a little bit easier. But yeah, I mean, it's just a tough sport. It's just, it's pretty cool that J.P. Crawford's done that. I expect to be more, but. It's a young man's game. That's what it tells me. It's a young man's game. The young players are what teams are going after.
All right, speaking of a young man's game, that leads me right into question 4. 4 baseball questions, 1 football question at the end. It's going to be great. MLB players with 30-plus stolen bases to start their careers. Vince Coleman has 7. Ichiro Suzuki has 8. Ricky Henderson has 15. Again, that's their first seasons to start their career. No slacking at all. Bobby Witt Jr. now has 5 seasons. So, Cheese, will he beat Ricky Henderson's record of 15, or will he become second and get 9 or more?
No in between, either one. Okay.
No.
So basically 30 stolen bases every year to start their career.
To start their careers,
okay.
Yes.
No, I don't think there's any chance he catches Ricky. He's bound to get hurt or something. Like 15 years of 30 stolen bases, you lose speed as you get older. But if he stays healthy, 9, yes, I think he will be second.
Okay. Yeah, 15 is pretty impressive, though, right?
It's almost unbreakable.
Yeah.
It's just, Ricky was just special.
All right, guys, can't wait to get this out of the way. Harrison Butker was the only Chiefs player not invited to Travis Kelce's wedding. So, Cheese, I guess you're right. Kickers are not important.
Okay, so
I've been waiting for this all day.
I can't believe you asked this, Mike. Okay, so if anyone does not know, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are fairly liberal politically. Harrison Butker is absolutely not liberal at all. But it's, it's a wedding. Like, if they purposely just didn't invite him because of his politics, come on. I mean, that's just petty and stupid. I'm sure it's Taylor Swift probably not wanting it. She's an idiot. Whenever she talks about politics, no matter what your politics are, she comes off sounding retarded. She's literally a dumb person when you just listen to her talk. So it's so stupid. I can't believe you asked me this, Mike. But I'm sure Harrison Butker wouldn't even gone because I wouldn't have gone if I'd been invited.
Oh. He says he wouldn't have gone if he would have been invited. That's an interesting end to it. So the famous wedding, you could have had all the scoop and you still wouldn't have gone.
I don't want the scoop. I probably care about what celebrities are doing with their lives. Well, maybe not lower than you, but very close. So I don't like Taylor Swift's music. Travis Kelce's
It's the Lights Out Sports podcast, by the way. We just did the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5, and I was going to say something smart, Alec, but I won't. I'll just click it off.
Are they talking about? We were talking about the wedding, the Taylor Swift.
Oh, maybe that is what they. Yeah, you know what? I apologize. I was thinking you were kind of insulting us.
Do you think that she took her private jet right to the altar, and then when her private jet landed right there at the altar, and then as soon as they were man and wife, she got on the private jet and took off. Even though the reception was across the street, she had to take her private jet.
Oh,
but she's for climate change. But she's she uses a private jet all the time. So anyway, yeah, totally not a hypocrite. She's not at all. And her music sucks.
Okay. Now that all of the female fans that we had have now clicked off the site, we appreciate it. But our YouTube says we only get like 2% anyway. So,
I guarantee you that over 90% of people watching are not Taylor Swift fans. Just a guess.
Well, maybe. We'll see what they say in the comments. I'm sure we got some coming. So, keeping the music on in the background for a moment because you got it, buddy. You did it under the 5 minutes. Here is your bonus question.
Okay.
7 umpires have informed Major League Baseball that they will be accepting their buyout and retiring at the end of the 2026 season. CB Buckner, who's been an umpire for 31 seasons.
Thank God.
I'm going to give you all 7 of them and tell you how long they've been. Now, when I tell you guys how long that they have been, this is their full time. Most of them started off in like the minors, or they did like a few games as like replacement umpires and stuff like that. I'm only counting the full time seasons that they were umpires. So CB Buckner at 31, Laz Diaz 26, Brian Onora 26, Lance Barksdale 26, Marvin Harrison 24. Tony
Marvin Hudson. Yeah.
What'd I say?
You said Marvin Harrison.
Oh, I'm sorry. Marvin Hudson. Thank you for
You're
correcting
thinking
me. You're
Cardinals.
Right.
You're thinking
Cardinals. Yeah, I was thinking Cardinals. Marvin Hudson has been in this for 24 years. Tony Randazzo, maybe one of the best umpire names ever, 26 years. Andy Fletcher, also 26 years. Cheese, do you think this is good? I'm going to ask you 2 or 3 questions here. Do you think this is good to get these older guys the heck out?
Yes, it's very good. They are clearly being forced out. They didn't mention ABS, but clearly these guys are the worst. We know CB Buckner is the worst umpire in baseball since Angel Hernandez was forced out last year. And Laz Diaz has been awful too. I have a lot of issues with him. They're forcing out the old guys that are terrible.
All right, I'm just working to get this off of here so you can see poor CB Buckner's face. There we go. You had to see that, right? So yes, they've all got a lot of years in, and they're all. I don't know if you listen to to everything. They're taking a buyout. All right, so don't feel sorry for them. The umpires right now make between $150,000 and $450,000 per season, depending on how many years they have in the league. And knowing that these guys have got between 31 and 24, I'm banking all of them are in that $450,000. The actual buyout number is kept secret between the MLB UA, which is the Major League Baseball Umpires Association, and MLB. So the next question for you, Cheese, should that number of the buyout that they are getting be kept secret?
No. I want to know. They shouldn't get anything. I mean, they're terrible. CB Buckner should have been fired, 20 years ago. I mean, he's been the worst umpire. Angel Hernandez probably at home plate, definitely Angel Hernandez is worse, but he's been probably the worst overall umpire. I mean, there are times where he's at first base and he's just calling out, and the guy's passed the bag. I mean, he's that incompetent, or he has an agenda. I don't know. So I want to know.
Okay, so you're saying no, it should not be kept under wraps.
No, it should not be kept secret. I want to know. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then the last thing here with these umpires, you mentioned it. I wanted to end with it. I agree. Do you think ABS, or maybe what? Let me ask it to you this way. The reason that they're quitting, what percentage do you think? Is it because of ABS and they're being proven wrong every night or every other night they're behind the plate?
99.9%.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's probably pretty high as well. So
the ABS system, the best thing about it is we're seeing how bad these umpires are, the ones that are incompetent. They should have, MLB, if they, had a pair of cojones, would have gotten rid of the bad ones years ago, and they wouldn't do it. They would not do it. Oh, he's seniority, it's fine. Like Joe West finally retired, Angel Hernandez. They were so terrible, and they cost teams games over and over again, and it's finally get rid of these guys. All
right, yeah. So I thought that was interesting. I knew you would like it because you've been on this, give me the best of everything bandwagon for quite some time. I'm there with you as well. But the only thing I'll disagree with you on is, if they had enough guts, they would have fired him a long time ago. Well, the problem is the union's back and forth, right? So what they did now is they're proving them wrong. They're embarrassing them. And they're like, well, you know what? I've been here for 30 some years or for 20 some years, whichever person you're talking to or about. And now they're just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm ready to quit. And I'm sure Major League Baseball is never going to come out and say it, but I'm sure they're going, yes, we're getting rid of them. I'm sure
you're right. You're right. The union was a problem, but MLB could have done things to make the union look bad. The umpires union is very strong. People don't know. And you can't just fire an umpire because they do have a union. But what they could have done is they could have hired some people to grade every umpire and put the results every year. And C.E. Buckner would have been terrible. And it would have put media pressure, would have put pressure on him to retire. And the union would have finally been like, look, you're making us look bad. MLB could have done stuff. Instead, they did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. They just let it go, let him keep making – I mean, you see it all over X, all the bad calls and all. MLB could have done something, and they did nothing, and it's pathetic. And Rob Manfred, he's so feckless. It's pathetic.
There was an X account done just for the mistakes that the umpires make, and they would release things every day like, here are all the calls, and here are the ones they got right, and here are the ones they got wrong. And, I mean, when you can create an account over mistakes that are being made on a daily basis in a sport, it's probably time to fix the sport, at least in that spot, right? And
when Angel Hernandez was at home plate, the pitchers knew he would give them this like outrageous strike zone. And so they just, they knew they were going to have a good outing. They knew what he would call, what he wouldn't. So they gave the pitcher an out. It wasn't baseball. It was, Angel Hernandez, okay. He's going to, if the catcher sets up outside, he's going to give that outside corner about like 1.5 feet every time. And they kept doing it. The hitter's not going to swing at 1.5 feet pitch outside. They're not going to do it. So it wasn't baseball.
Right. Now, before you get too far off on this bandwagon here, I want to rein you back in a little bit, especially since you're the Braves guy. I used to watch Madden, Glavine, and Smoltz get calls that were not even near the strike zone just because they were Madden, Glavine, and Smoltz. So we'll talk about the ABS system here.
Well, I mean,
our baseball. Don't try to tell me it's different.
No, they got some. They got some calls, but they weren't the only ones. It wasn't like just the Braves were getting the calls, and they hit their spots. All three of them had great control, and they had They had really good catchers that framed the ball well too. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I think more than anyone, Tom Glavine would just throw his changeup in the outside corner. Catcher would set up there, and if he got those calls, you couldn't hit him. You couldn't hit him. That was, and he won Cy Young's doing that. I get it, but it wasn't just them. There were other pitchers as well. But I'm glad that we have this system now because it's just much more fair. And I still remember, I think, what is his name? Greg, big umpire in the late 90s. Eric Gregg, I think was his name. There was a playoff game, Marlins Braves. Livan Hernandez got every call. He could be a foot up, foot outside, foot inside, foot down, anything. Eric Gregg just decided to call everything a strike, and it gave the Marlins the game. It just gave him, and he just had an agenda. And it was the most embarrassing performance I've ever seen from a home plate umpire in my life.
Greg Gibson?
I think his name was Eric Gregg. Anyone that watching, let me know if you in the comments. Yeah, Eric Gregg with 2 G's.
Okay.
Yes.
I just typed in Major League umpire Greg. And
it was
Gibson,
Game 5 of the 1997 NLCS. He popped right up when his name popped up. He's called the Eric Gregg game. He basically gave Livan Hernandez everything. He's been dead for a while now. I'm not sad about that. But yeah, he basically just gave the Marlins that game, and they would go on to the World Series. So, they won the World Series that year.
And I think we should agree that there should be no game ever played in sports that's called the umpire's name, right?
The Eric Gregg game, yep.
Yeah,
and Livan Hernandez.
Different. It shouldn't be called the umpire's game, right?
Well, Livan Hernandez knew early on. He knew he was getting everything, so he just wasn't throwing strikes and still getting calls. Yeah.
And you can't blame him, right? He's taking advantage of what he's given. So.
Yep.
Okay. I am really excited about this NFL stuff that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Brandon Ayuk first, and then as I teased earlier, we're going to get into a controversial subject. I can't wait to go through this. 70%, I believe, right, Cheese, of the coaches in the NFL, the head coaches in the NFL have been there 3 years or less. This will be interesting. We'll get to it here in just a second. But, of course, first, we got to give you the intro, and we got to switch backgrounds. So here we go. All right, my buddy Cheese, he is here. He writes this stuff for us. It's not just me. We got our buddy over here with the good hair and the nice headset and, the words to back it up. So, Cheese, as we're getting ready to go into your segment here, tell us, where can we find you at on X and on YouTube? Buddy, go ahead.
Yeah, on X, it's Football Cheese, just basically football and CHEEZ, like Cheese It. And this is my YouTube channel.
Oh, the cup.
Football with Cheese on YouTube. Obviously, cheese spelled the same way. So this week, I'm doing some fun videos. I'm doing Most Improved. And, I did the AFC on Monday. Today, I did the NFC. And I got a special video coming out tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. So what I did was I talked about who I would bet to win the MVP. I don't bet. I don't recommend betting. But if somebody gave me $1,000, right, and said you have to use it to bet on somebody for MVP, who would you bet on? So I went through the whole list and, looking forward to the video tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, all that, and check out that video. I will probably surprise you on who I picked and who I did not pick.
Wow, interesting. Okay, now I know you did a Saints video today, right?
Yes, I think I did. My video on Monday was about the Titans. I think the Titans will be the most improved team in the AFC. And I think the Saints will be the most improved team in the NFC. So I talked about the reasons why in that video.
So you called them the new Patriots, right? These are the teams this year that will be the Patriots of last year. So I thought that was an interesting way to look at it. I'm sure our fans will think so too. So go over to Football with Cheese on the YouTube and check those out.
Real quick, the Patriots being the most improved. I don't think the Titans are going to the Super Bowl. Just saying. Mr. First Down would love that. But
he would. Did he comment on it? I didn't see him comment
on the video. I told him I was going to make a Titans video. I haven't heard back from him, but
okay.
We'll see what he.
Mr. First Down, I'm sure you're listening. What's taking you so long, buddy? Come on.
I just put his kids to bed.
Nothing else better to do. It's not like you have a job or anything.
This is the time he puts his kids to bed. This is around that time. I know because he co-hosted. I had to wait for him.
He did co-host it a few weeks ago. Yes, he did. So very, very interesting there as you put things together for us. But let's get to everything today. I know the first thing you want to talk about is Brandon Aiyuk. Go ahead and do that, sir.
Yeah, Brandon Aiyuk, he wants out of San Francisco, obviously. The wide receiver, he's coming off a season where he didn't even play, okay? He tore his ACL. He's rehabbing that. In fact, it's about a year ago, I think, the 49ers voided his bonuses. And apparently, Brandon Aiyuk didn't fight it. He didn't even seem to care. So the Niners basically don't have to pay him. They didn't pay him the bonuses. They don't have to pay him right now because he's now on the active roster. He's on what's called the reserve list. So if he doesn't report for camp, right, they won't have to pay him at all. And the Niners made it clear they're not releasing him, at least at this time, or trading him. My question for you, Mike, is do you like the way the 49ers are handling the situation? Because he's just – I don't know what he's doing.
See, this is kind of tough for me because I do believe in you get what you deserve, right? Brandon Aiyuk is not handling this well. He is kind of getting what he deserves, but at the same point, he's still a human being and he still should be allowed to play somewhere. The 49ers are almost holding him hostage. So it's a real fine line for me between he gets what he deserves and are the 49ers destroying his football career. We'll talk about this more and more and more, but I do want to also plug this real quick because we're going to get to it next. Go over to our X account at All Gloves Off SM, and you can decide if you realize that 70% of the head coaches in the NFL have been with their teams 3 years or less, and is it good for the sport? It's a simple yes or no. So we have that over on our X account as well.
Yeah, so Aiyuk, obviously he's not with the team. He doesn't seem like he wants to be with the team or report. What is his strategy? What do you think? What is he thinking? Can you get inside his head and tell me what's going on with him?
I don't know if anybody can get inside that guy's head. He's not making the right decision here. All right, let's not put all the blame back on the 49ers. He is obviously not doing the right thing here. But again, And I know that you're going to talk about, is anybody going to trade for him?
Yeah,
I
what
can't
are
wait
his
to get to
options? So
that.
where does that leave him? What is his option? So they're not releasing him. No one's going to trade for him, obviously, because of the way he's acted. There's no reason to. So where does that leave him? What are his options?
I'm going to disagree with you on nobody's going to trade for him. It only takes one of the 32 teams to have any kind of interest whatsoever. Are you telling me, Cheesy, he's talented? I remember watching him at ASU
Yes,
before
very
he
talented.
did all this goofy stuff, right? If you put him in the right situation, I think maybe he could be okay. I mean, I would be willing to give up a late round pick, 5th, 6th, 7th round. I mean, I'm not giving them a first or a second or a third or probably not even a 4th rounder, but
No.
I'll give them a 5, 6, 7 round pick and take a chance on Brandon Ayuk. Wouldn't you do that?
I don't think so. Not the way he's acting. You just don't know. Like he could just get up and leave the facility and not come back. I don't think he's tradable at this point. Why? Like the 49ers have no leverage even if they try to trade him. And what's crazy is the 49ers, because of all the voids and the fact he's on the list, they have the most cap room more than anyone because he has a huge cap number because they give him a big extension.
Right,
But-
and they don't have to pay him, right?
Right, they don't have to pay him. So they have all this cap room right now, but they can't necessarily use it in case he shows up to camp and it hits this cap all of a sudden. So, yeah, but I don't know if this is true, but I heard a rumor. He was drafted in 2020. Okay. There was a rumor. Now, back then, the Green Bay Packers were one of the best teams in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers was throwing 45 touchdowns, winning MVPs.
Sure.
And they needed the receiver opposite Devontae Adams. That was a huge need. And the Packers were set to, the rumor is, Brian Gutekunst was set to take Brandon Ayuk. Right? The 49ers move up to pick 25 and take him. They moved up in the draft despite having like 3 or 4 picks in the draft. They didn't even have much draft capital. They moved up in front of Green Bay, pick 25. Jordan Love went pick 26. Isn't that crazy? Now, I don't know if that's true, but Packer reporters, you can't always trust them. They were reporting at the time that the Packers were focused on Ayuk. And so that Goody, he wasn't planning on taking Jordan Love. He had to pivot, and there was no one else that he loved at any of the positions of need. So he just took the best player on the board, which was Love.
So, Cheese, I thought there was something going on with the Commanders, too. What's going on with the Commanders and Brandon Ayuk? What are you laughing so much for? I mean,
I would just think you had to come on that. How crazy would that be if that was the true? I mean, I'd much rather have Jordan Love than Brandon Ayuk right now. I'm just saying. But
okay.
It would have helped him in the short term to have Ayuk. But anyway.
Right. Well, and I mean, you don't know if Ayuk. So is it Ayuk fighting with the actual 49ers? Is it Ayuk fighting with the demons inside of himself? Is it Ayuk fighting with people outside of the organization that maybe he's got a bunch of family problems and stuff, and we just don't know about it, and that's what's driving him to do all of this? If he would have been drafted by the Packers instead of the 49ers, maybe all this stuff doesn't happen.
And maybe the Packers have another Super Bowl. You never know.
Yeah.
But
listen, okay, let me set this there before we talk about the Commanders. Let me talk about my Cardinals for a second. If I'm the Cardinals and I'm not going anywhere anyway, right? Why not trade a late round pick for Brandon Ayuk, who played for ASU, and maybe he's in the same division as the 49ers. Maybe he'll want to do the revenge tour for a while.
But would the 49ers trade him to Arizona? They're in the division. I don't think they would.
Great question.
Especially if Arizona offers a 2nd round pick, they'll do it. But if Arizona says we'll give you a 6th, it's not worth it to trade him in the division. 6th round pick's not very valuable. No.
So what do you think it would have to be in order to get him to go to Arizona?
I don't think Arizona is interested at all, to be honest with you. Not at all. But it would have to be at least a 3rd or 4th. But I don't think the 49ers are getting any calls for him because of how he's acted. I think teams would love for the 49ers to release him, and then we'll sign him. But I don't think he's tradable right now because of the way he's acted.
So if they do release him, do they have to pay him the remainder of that huge contract that he's owed that San Francisco doesn't? Or how does that work?
Yeah, I think that they voided his guarantees, and now they're not paying him because he's on the reserve list. So if they release him, they have to pay him whatever's like left on the cap, whatever, is non-guaranteed. And it would hit their cap. So they'd have to pay him some. So that's why.
Would that be the 49ers paying that, or would that be the team that picks him up paying that?
No, the 49ers would have to pay. If someone claimed him on waivers, they have to pay a lot of money, but they wouldn't. They'd try to sign him after. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, his cap number, he's not even listed here because he's not an active player, so I don't even.
I tried to look him up earlier.
Okay, so his cap number is $13.6 million this year. But if post June 1st, because we're post June 1st. So it's 13.6 cap number would hit their cap if he shows up at camp. If they trade him or release him, they would save $6.3 million with a dead cap of 7.3. But any team that claims him would not be on the hook for any of the bonuses, just the base salary, just like part of it. So he could be claimed.
I would say he would be claimed. He wouldn't be the only person in the NFL that's a talented head case.
Maybe they don't want him. Maybe Arizona would be interested. Maybe they don't want him to go there because Arizona has a very high waiver priority.
Right. I mean, if I'm Arizona, I'd claim him. Why not? Give him a shot. What do you got to lose? It's kind of like Carson Beck, right? If they play Carson Beck all year, which, your theory may hold true before it's all said and done. Yeah. So the other thing that I want to talk about next week, I want to have everybody think about this for a little bit. I love spring training, and I am going to try to go to the Arizona Cardinals camp this year multiple times and try to see if I can have a similar experience. So I'd like to find out from you, what have you ever been to? Don't answer these questions right now, but have you ever been to a camp? What would attract you to a camp? Things like that. The football guy. What would attract the football guy to a training camp? And I'll tell you from a baseball guy kind of perspective, what would attract me, and we'll talk about that next week as we get closer and closer to the training camps. So let's talk about the Commanders.
Yeah. So the rumor, the rumor was all of season that he was a good fit. Their GM used to be in the 49ers front office. He was teammates with Jaden Daniels at Arizona State. And he said he wanted to join the Commanders. That's the team he wanted to go to. But then recently, he started a social media feud with Jaden Daniels, who is the quarterback of the Commanders, obviously. So I think that ship has sailed. And the rumor is the Commanders right now are not really interested. They used their third-round pick on Antonio Williams, who's a similar style of receiver. He's not as good as Brandon Ayuk, I don't think. He's not. You never know. But similar style. So I don't know if that's a logical spot for him. I mean, do you think Ayuk will even play, like even one game this year?
It's a great question. What 72 Who here has thrown out here? He's a total head case. Why would anybody want him in your locker room? So maybe that's kind of where we go here. Well, like what 72 Who is saying, why would you put him in your locker room? He could be a cancer and just destroy everything. Is that worth a chance?
Take off and go home and not come back like he did with the Niners.
He'd probably do it really fast down the road right by the stadium. So that's a reference to a video he put out. Anyway, so I don't know, but he's talented, Cheese. He is.
Very talented. He was a first-round pick for a reason.
Right.
He was a
star in Arizona.
I mean, there's a reason they extended him. He became a really good receiver. Maybe not elite, but really good receiver. And they paid him because he was very good. They actually paid him and then got rid of Debo. So they chose him.
I'm a little weary on this one because I'm afraid that we're going to find out later that it wasn't football that was making him this way. I'm afraid we're going to find out later that, he I don't know. I don't want to put crazy things out there, but, maybe that him and his wife or fiance or whatever have lost a child, or maybe he's lost a family member, or something happened somewhere along the line here. I do almost hate to speak this stuff into existence, but that's the kind of thing that can mess you up like what he has been done. Cheese, you and I both know he basically was given the world. here's a great contract for you. You're going to be on a team that's going to be competing for a Super Bowl pretty much year in and year out. Here you go.
Great
Please
offense.
sign this.
A great offense. Great offensive minded
All you got to do
coach.
is show up and do your job. Sign here. And he's not showing up and doing his job, and nobody seems to know why. I'm scared that we're going to find out why, and it's going to be something that we're all going to put our head in our hands about and go, "Oh, I didn't realize that was going on."
It's possible. I just don't think so. I think he's just a head case, like 72 who said.
All right.
So
you asked me about, is he going to play?
yeah, do you think he'll play even game? Do you think he'll play this year?
Wow, this is such a great question. I'm going to go with yes,
Okay, then.
but it won't be for the 49ers.
Okay, who then? Just not the 49ers, someone else?
I think he's burnt the bridge with the Commanders, don't you?
Yeah, the only other team that absolutely, I was looking at the teams, I was writing the notes, and I'd say there's one team that absolutely has to get a wide receiver. I mean, it's pathetic, because that's Miami Dolphins. But they're rebuilding. Do they want that headache? I don't know. I just don't know a team out there. Most of the, teams that need a receiver in free agency of the draft. I just don't know if there's a spot, because if you do sign him, he's going to have to start. He's going to play a lot of snaps. And I don't think a lot of teams have those snaps available.
All right, so I'm going to give you 3 teams that I think it's a possibility.
Okay.
The Dallas Cowboys will take a chance on anybody, so they've got to be in the mix, right? The Baltimore Ravens have
I can see the Ravens. Yeah, I can see
the Ravens have a reputation of wanting to take a chance on anybody. And for just a simple, I think he would fit in, and I think that they would take a chance on him, because if they get one good wide receiver, their chances to go to the Super Bowl skyrocket, and that'd be the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills, they got rid of Stephon Diggs because it was a locker room problem. They knew they didn't have a replacement for him, got rid of him. So I just don't see them taking him in. I could definitely see the Ravens and maybe the Dolphins out of desperation, but I guess it's possible. I don't know. He didn't even play last year. I mean, do you think if he doesn't even play all year, do you think his career is possibly over? I think there's any chance? Like, he just doesn't play?
Well, I mean, I think people's careers get revived all the time, so I can't say it's over, but it does take a pretty big hit, I think, if he doesn't play this upcoming season. And it's going to have to be a team that's in a desperate mode, kind of like what you were talking about with the Dolphins, too. I think those are the only teams that would take a chance on him at that point.
Shout out to Alfred. Happy birthday to, Cade North. Yeah, Alfred, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy. We appreciate you listening, and we appreciate your
Alfred, growing up, you got pool party birthdays. I didn't. My birthday was like in the spring. It was all rainy and nasty, so I didn't get the pool party birthdays.
Right.
So that's lucky.
Lucky for you, buddy. Lucky for you. Hey, so this edition, we're now into our 4-down territory here. That's presented by FrostBuddy.com. So I want to do Frostbuddy shout out here just for a second. Give me 30 seconds in order to do it and find it here. It's going to get hot at the ballpark and at the gym and at your kids' sporting practice. So you need a stylish way to represent your favorite college sports teams from Alabama to Xavier. So while you're keeping all your liquids cooler than a small forward missing 12 shots in a row, or they can keep your stuff hotter than a center that's made 12 in a row. What all can the Universal XL Frostbuddy keep cold? Traditional 12-ounce cans. It's one can you can drop in a 12-ounce can into. You can drop a Gatorade or any other sports drink into it. It will fit in there. Slim cans, tall boys, Arizona iced tea cans, and even bottles. That's why they call it Universal. Plus, you can get 100% leak-proof lid that you can cap off your experience with, just like your favorite team, how they cap off a great win. So speaking of sports teams, you can also choose your favorite MLB team, then choose either style from the Cooperstown Collection or the Legacy Collection. If you're more of an NHL fan, Frostbuddy and All Gloves Off Sports Media have you covered there as well, with over 120 styles of the Universal Buddy and the Go Buddy, plus all of your favorite NCAA teams, as we mentioned above. 30-day free trial, 40K plus great reviews, and shipping that is free on orders over $60. There's also several 32-ounce bottle buddies in a rainbow of designs as a gift for those people in your life who may not actually be sports fans. So they come with a sippy cup or a chug lid. You can flip it. You can look on the website. It's a pretty neat invention, depending on your drinking pleasure, with no slit bottoms, a detachable strap, and all of our cups that they sell are cup holder friendly. So scan the code. We'll have it for you next week. Chill the liquid and rep your team with the great combination of Frost Buddy and All Gloves Off Sports Media. You can go to their website, frostbuddy.com/Red Hot Reds, and get yours today. Again, that's frostbuddy.com/Red Hot Reds. So they sponsor today's 4 Down Territory. Now, Cheese, I know you've got the Brandon Ayuk thing. We've covered that one. You also want to do another part here. And, man, I can't wait for this, but I'll let you set it up because I think this is really, really interesting conversation.
Yeah, so recently I was looking at, each team's head coach and how long they've been with their teams.
Okay.
And what I saw was that Sean Payton, head coach of the Broncos, is the 10th longest tenured head coach in the NFL. And why that's important is he's only been with Denver for 3 years. So basically, I say 70%. It's actually 71.8%. 71.8% of head coaches in the NFL have been with their team for 3 years or less. So, Mike, when I sent this to you, did it surprise you?
Yes. In fact, I thought it was a misprint. I started looking stuff up myself because I was like, there is no way in the world that this is true. I'm sorry, I'm pulling up our poll question here on my phone here on our X stuff.
Yeah, Dansby. Yes.
Yeah, I was totally shocked that this was a true number and that it was 3 years. So as we asked on the poll question, we've had some more people vote. We certainly appreciate it. Here's the poll question. We'll give you a few extra seconds here to vote, and then we'll give you the results here in just a moment. It's still really close. So 70% of head coaches in the NFL have been with their teams for 3 years or less. And we ask, is this good for the sport of football? And then a simple yes or no. So go over to All Gloves Off SM on X and vote on the poll question. It is pinned to the top of our page. So, Cheese, what do you think? Is this good for the sport or not?
I voted yes.
Well, yeah, but wait a minute now. Did you vote yes because of your Mike LaFleur thing? Because you don't want Mike LaFleur anymore? Or did you vote yes because of the
Mike
sport?
LaFleur is the Arizona Cardinal head coach.
Oh, well, whatever LaFleur it is.
Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, Matt, Mike, Manny. I don't know.
Yes,
whatever.
to answer your question, yes. I think sometimes coaches stay too long. And if it's not working, if it's not a good fit, sometimes it's good to make a change.
So give me a couple of examples of coaches that you think may have worn out their welcome in the NFL.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about two of them. Your favorite team is the Bengals. My favorite team is the Packers. Zach Taylor, early in his career, got to the Super Bowl with the Bengals.
Okay.
He had a much better defense then. Lost a game he probably should have won. If they could have blocked Aaron Donald, they definitely win that game, probably easily. But they did lose. Since then, they've kind of, they made another AFC title game. But really, since then, it's been like 3 years, they've kind of gotten stagnant. Matt LaFleur with the Packers, 7th seed, 3 straight years, 3-6 in the playoffs. He just gets in the playoffs and he blows games, gets big leads. It's just not working. It's just both of them, especially LaFleur. It just feels like they're kind of stuck, like in a rut. So I obviously think LaFleur should have been fired years ago, maybe after the 2021 NFC title game, had no business losing to the Buccaneers, who slaughtered the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But I also think Zach Taylor, it might have been a good opportunity for the Bengals just to kind of move on and get another voice in there. What do you think about those two guys?
We talked about the Taylor thing before. I think this is his last year. If he doesn't get to the fill in the blank here. If he doesn't get to the,
I think he's gonna win the division. It's a win. The division was down last year, and I feel like he's got to win it.
But I think he has to do more than just win a division. I think he's got to win a couple playoff games. I was almost ready to say if he doesn't get to the Super Bowl, I'll back it off a step. If he doesn't get to the title game, then he needs to go.
Do you
Because
think?
as we kind of talked about off air a little bit, sometimes you do need a change. And there's been a couple of coaches that were let go recently that I think that's why they were let go. And Mike Tomlin and Ravens coach, help me.
John Harbaugh.
Yes, John Harbaugh. Thank you. Even though I'm not a big Harbaugh person because of his brother, and I figure if the brother's that way, the other brother's got to be that way. But I mean, come on, you know they do.
I know what he did in Michigan. I know what he did. Then he left before he left with all the violations. Yes.
Yep, he ran like a scared little girl.
The basketball coach didn't do that. Oh wait,
yes, he did. Anyway, yeah. We won't veer too far off topic here, but. So here's the other part to this equation, Cheese, that I really wanted to get into. So let's say that Matt LaFleur, I had to make sure I got it right this time. Matt LaFleur gets fired this offseason. He's going to get picked up by another team.
A stupid team.
Well, possibly, but I mean, who's the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers right now?
Fat ass.
What?
Sorry,
I mean,
Mike McCarthy. That's what I call
Mike
him.
McCarthy, and he was with the Packers.
Twice retread.
Okay. Well, did you think he did a great job with the Packers?
Awful. He did an awful job. He kept his job 4 or 5 years too long because he had the Super Bowl. Because he's won a Super Bowl, so we should keep him. But what a lot of people do not know is he cost us at least two more Super Bowls by getting out-coached by his terrible decisions. So everyone he's a Super Bowl winning coach. Look at his overall record. Yeah, you had Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott. He's never not played with one of those quarterbacks. So, of course, his record's going to look good. But, right. Some coaches
– coaching the Yankees, right?
Who was the best quarterback that Rex Ryan ever coached with the Bills and Jets? Mark Sanchez? You know what I mean? Wow. I'm not saying Rex Ryan's this amazing I'm not saying Rex Ryan's an amazing coach, but the point I'm trying to make is Mike McCarthy's a terrible coach. I think it was a terrible hire by the Steelers. But I just feel like they talk about continuity, right? Continuity's good. Keeping the band together is good when a team, the media reports this, the insiders, when a team keeps a head coach. When as soon as they decide to keep Matt LaFleur, the Packers media went crazy because they want access. It's all about getting access. Oh, this is a good move, continuity for Jordan Love. He needs to keep the same offense together. But here's the thing, and I want your opinion on this. The two coaches that were in the Super Bowl last year are Mike Vrabel, who was in his first year, and Mike McDonald of the Seahawks, who was in his second year. So the two coaches in the Super Bowl, first year head coach and the second year head coach. So doesn't that prove that sometimes it's good to make a change? It can actually help your organization?
Yes and yes. But I think that it was time for
Pete Carroll.
His name.
Pete Carroll.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was time. It was time. It was
and
actually
Belichick. And Belichick too.
And Belichick to get out, right?
Yeah.
Two older coaches who had certain ways of doing things. And yes, I will 100% agree with you. When you've got a coach in there that says you'll do it this way, you'll get out. And both of those coaches were pretty much that way. You get a new person in there who says, okay, we're going to change the culture here. We're going to do things a little different now. I think a lot of the players are like, oh, okay, how is it going to be different? What changes are we going to make? I'm excited about this. That's one of those things when I come home, my wife will say, how was work today? And I usually don't comment too much on it. I'll say something like, it was fine. It was good. It was okay. One of those sentences, right? But when I'm recognized or when something good happens or something changes at work, you come home and you're like, well, I think the people who are above me actually know what they're doing now. They changed this. And I think the people above me are listening to us finally, and they changed that. So, yes, I do think that sometimes a new voice is good. But a new voice every 3 years, we'll say, on average, I'm not sure if that's good.
No, it's not good if you're always changing, but if it's not working, make a change. That's the point I'm trying to make. And Mike McCarthy, you brought him up. Mm-hmm. He was an absolute disaster after that Super Bowl. The read option, he and Dom Capers had no clue what they were doing. Against Colin Kaepernick, he would get out coached by Jim Harbaugh and the Niners every game. It was a joke. And 2 years before he got fired, someone in the media asked him, they actually asked him a tough question. They said, do you feel like you're on the hot seat? And he looked at the reporter and he was shocked. Mike McCarthy was asked that. He was shocked. And he said, I'm a successful NFL head coach. That's what he said. I'm a successful NFL head coach. How dare you ask me that? And it's just like he won a Super Bowl. So I felt like the Pack organization, team president Mark Murphy and GM Ted Thompson, who I loved, his biggest mistake was keep McCarthy too long. It's like, well, no, look, he's won a Super Bowl. He's proven it. So he can't be the problem. But it was. He was the problem. The main problem. Wasn't the only problem, but he was the main problem. And they decided that he wasn't. And it cost them, like I said, at least 2 Super Bowls. And they kept him way too long. And I feel like with Matt LaFleur, it's the same thing. You saw them in the 2021 NFC title game, how awful he was, how terrible he's been in the postseason. In fact, one of his postseason wins was Mike McCarthy, Cowboys. One of them. So you can throw that one out. So I just feel like if it's not working, if it's stale, it's just good to make a change. And anyone that says, oh, keep the same offense for the quarterback, that's a joke. All these, like Sam Darnold learned a completely new offense under Clint Kubiak, completely new offense, and he was the Super Bowl winning quarterback. So I think it's crazy. And the poll question, to get back to that, what was the results, by the way? Do you have it?
I'll tell you what, let me bring up one more thing and then we'll do the poll question here. I've got it in my hand so I don't forget it. Okay. That's why I did it on the phone. So,
I made sure to bring it back up.
Yeah, and I appreciate that because I did ask you to, because you know me, I'll forget. I'm doing all this stuff around me and I'll forget. You're 100% right. So do you like it when the voice of change becomes a new voice like it is right now in Arizona? Or do you like it when the voice of change becomes a retread voice like it is in New York with the Giants right now?
It depends. Retread coaches used to be like, oh, you don't go after retread coaches. You go for the hot
new guy, right?
Hot new young coordinator, the 37, 39-year-old coordinator, like the Clint Kubiak, Mike LaFleur types who just got coaches. And the retreads were bad. But if you look at recent memory, retreads are starting to do better. Like even Bill Belichick, Sean Payton, they're retread coaches. So I think retread's coming back a little bit. Dan Quinn got the job with Washington, despite blowing a 28-3 Super Bowl lead. I wouldn't have hired him, but I get what he did. But so it just depends. I would have hired Sean Payton as well. I would have hired Mike Vrabel as well. But hot young coordinator, guess what? Mike McDonald was that. Got the job with the Seahawks. So I would prefer an up-and-coming young coordinator. But retread coaches used to be typically not successful. Pete Carroll was a retread coach. He won a Super Bowl, although it didn't end well, but it's with Seattle. But I feel like, retread coaches are coming back a little bit. Like they're learning from their mistakes, but I wouldn't hire Matt Nagy. But
well, I think it's pretty much anybody named Matt, right? You just don't hire a head coach named Matt, right?
Yes, do not. And you mentioned, it was a good point. You mentioned the Steelers and Ravens. So both teams, have gotten kind of complacent, I think.
Okay.
The Ravens, even though they made the playoffs and even gotten far, I think AFC title game, maybe not for like 3 years, but they used to make it that far and making the playoffs. They dropped off last year. Steelers make the playoffs every year, lose right away. They got complacent. And I think Mike Tomlin and I think John Harbaugh, I think they're good coaches. I don't think they're great coaches. I think they're good coaches. But it seemed like it got complacent. Do you think they waited too long, both organizations, to move on from those guys? Because they've been there like 17, 18 years, right?
Yeah. I think the complacency that you
dogs think so.
With you.
The
yes.
Dogs definitely think so.
I think I think your point with the complacency is sort of correct because they had success. Like the Steelers can be so proud of being, we are the best mediocre team in the NFL, right? But I'm not sure if that's what you want to raise your fist and swing your terrible towel about. You have to kind of take chances. You have to That's why I'm not willing to give up on Brandon Ayuk yet. And when you're saying, when Mike McCarthy said, "Hey, I've been a successful coach," well, yeah, Brandon Ayuk was a successful college football receiver too. I mean, there's some lines that we seem to not want to cross, and there's some things that we seem to not want to do. But then we're also out here going, take some chances, make some tough decisions, and so the front offices for any sports team. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, and it's not contradictory per se. But I guarantee you that teams wanted Mike Tomlin, and obviously somebody wanted Harbaugh when he got let go, and even guys over like McDonald in Seattle, and they've got the new head start, young up and coming coordinator. He got snatched up quick too, so. It's all these decisions, and this is what makes this sport fantastic, because we can't wait to see who's going to do better. The new retread coach in New York, or is it going to be the new hot coordinator in Las Vegas?
It's Stefanski in Atlanta, retread coach. People just forgave him for the Browns because he didn't have a quarterback. And the Steelers, the problem with the Steelers, they don't have a long-term plan of quarterback. They don't have their quarterback of the future. No. And if you don't have the quarterback of the future, it's bad. You're not in a good situation. Every year you're just So they don't have that. So we'll see what happens there. By the way,
yes.
I guess 2 quick points. One, I don't want to make a change just to make a change. But if it's not working, if it's getting stale, if it's getting complacent, you need to make a change. So I'm for, making change if it's necessary. And I think definitely Green Bay should have been made. But did you know?
But they made the playoffs. How can you say they're
7 seed every year? The 7 seed every year. They're not getting any better.
We'd love to have the 7th seed.
They're not getting any. Yes, but Green Bay's better than those teams. Green Bay they're better than those teams.
Okay, I can give you that.
And they traded for Micah Parsons. They went for it. They traded for one of the best players in the game, right? Mm-hmm. I know he got hurt. It doesn't matter. But even before he got hurt, they weren't in first place. So,
okay.
It's gotten complacent to me. And when they did the player grades, Matt LaFleur did not do well as a head coach. He was like 4th or 5th worst by the players. And that's very telling. So we'll see what happens this year. Parsons might miss 8 or 9 games. We'll see what happens. Last point I want to make, I think I lost it.
It's okay. Let me do the poll question. You can see if you remember it while I do the poll question. All right. So we've got a pin at the very top. You're going to have a little more than 17 hours to still vote on it. So it says, hello, football fans. Did you realize that 70% of the head coaches in the NFL have been with their teams for 3 years or less? Is this good for the sport? There is only a 6% difference between yes and no. The yeses are at 53%, and the no's are at 47%. So right now, our fans think that the head coaching carousel that happens roughly every 3 years is good for the NFL. Interesting. I would have not thought that would have been the way that it went, but that's what our fans think.
It's close. I voted yes, obviously. So I probably broke the tie. So did you know? Okay, so the last thing I want to mention about this topic.
Sure. And then we'll jump to our baseball stuff here, which I can't wait to do too.
I'm trying to pull it up here. Here it is. So only one coach has been with his team more than 8 years. Every single with Tomlin and Harbaugh moving on, they were very long tenured. We're just not going to see the Chuck Noll, the Chin, what's his name, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. We're not going to see that ever again.
Yeah, Marv Levy in Buffalo.
Yeah, we're just not going to see those. One coach has been with his team more than 8 years in the NFL. Can you name that coach?
Ooh, one coach.
Everyone else has been 8 years or fewer. And I'll go through. We mentioned Sean Payton was 10th. I'll go through the top 9 real quick. Only one coach has been there longer than 8 years.
Is it going to be Matt LaFleur?
No, he is 4th. Zach Taylor's 5th, like we said.
Kyle Shanahan, maybe?
He's 3rd. He's 3rd. He's been there 8 years. Yeah.
Okay, so give me 2 and 1. Who are they?
So 9, Todd Bowles.
Okay.
8, Kevin O'Connell. Todd Bowles, Buccaneers. 8, Kevin O'Connell, Vikings. 7, Nick Sirianni, Eagles. 6, Dan Campbell, Lions. 5, Zach Taylor, Bengals. 4, Matt LaFleur, Packers. 3, Kyle Shanahan, 49ers. 2, Sean McVay, Rams. McVay and Shanahan have been there 8 years. Number 1 is Andy Reid has been there. Yeah,
I should have known that.
Yeah, he's been there for 13 years. Before that, he coached the Eagles. So, but yeah, only one coach, Andy Reid, has been there more than 8 years. That's it.
And I kind of think if we look at just the Kansas City in the last little bit, I don't know. You would. I wonder how many Kansas City fans would point to him and say, "We need a new coach."
Well, you know what though?
Stale.
I saw a little of that. I did see a little of that on X, not a lot. But there's a difference between like Mike McCarthy and Andy Reid. It's 3 Super Bowls in one. He's got 3 Super Bowls. So it's hard to fire a guy with 3 Super Bowls. 1, okay, but 3, it's like, oh, well, okay, you're good. And he's been to, I think, 6. Okay, so he's been to 6 Super Bowls. So it's hard to get rid of that kind of guy. I never thought Andy Reid was just like amazing coach. People vote him the best coach on lists. I see it every year. I think he's a very good coach, but I don't think he's ever been like the best. But I think he's very good.
All right, so let me plug this. Again, I've been teasing this for a few weeks. We've got our major sponsors. We've now put all 4 of them together. The only thing that I now have to do, and the rest of the gang here at All Gloves Off Sports Media, as we all work together, is get the scan codes and stuff ready, and then we'll be perfectly set for all of these sponsorships. So we're now going to jump to 4 Pitch Talk, and this is brought to you by 5core.com. Are you looking to upgrade your podcasting equipment without downgrading your wallet? Then I have the perfect website for you. Simply scan the QR code below, which again we'll have next week, and it will take you to 5core.com. 5core.com is from Bellefontaine, Ohio. Has a 25-man roster and a great farm system with amplifiers and audio mixers and microphones and music stands and so much more. 5Core has more than 35 years of experience with trusted name brands, great prices, and quality merchandise. They currently supply items to over 65 countries worldwide, including headphones, car audio, and tons of cables and connectors. That's just a scan and a click away. So you can simply scan the QR code when we get it next week below and see the many products that they have, including podcast bundles that include a mixer, microphone, headphones, a microphone stand, and depending on how much money you invest, it goes from $29.99 and up. So 5core.com. Over 900 different products from OHIO. Support them. Support us here at All Gloves Off Sports Media. Scan the code. Yes, you can save 10%, and you won't be sorry as we continue with the Lights Out Sports podcast. All right, buddy. So you know what time it is. Our fans all know what time it is. It is time for the best podcasting graphic anywhere. And as soon as I figure out where that music is, we will get it going. Hang on. Where is it?
We're about to talk some baseball.
Oh, we're going to talk a lot of baseball here. We're going to look at some different things, and we're going to do it right. I found it.
Oh,
so here we go. Oh, go ahead.
Well, when are we doing our mock baseball draft with a group of people, and we would pick for every team? Are we doing that for the baseball draft? Baseball draft is this weekend, by the way.
It is. I am a huge baseball guy, and I can barely tell you who the top 10 will be. So,
yeah, Sean is not going to like it because I'll be watching it.
You know what I want to ask you, and we'll do this next week too. We've got some different things. I better start writing some of this stuff down. I want to know what baseball can do to make their draft as popular as the NFL draft.
I have thoughts on it, but tune in next week because we don't have time for that tonight.
No, we do not. But here we go. We are going to do our baseball stuff starting right now. Oh, yes.
Cubs win. Cubs win.
I'm sure the Reds did not, but we won't talk about that. So who'd your Cubs beat?
They beat the Orioles. The Braves got murdered by Paul Skeens and the Pirates because the Braves are just falling apart. So they did score a run. the Reds. They lost 4-1. The
kind of
Royals
bad.
are beating the Mets 16-11.
Who's beating the Mets?
The Royals are beating the
Oh,
Mets
the Royals.
16-11. The Royals also scored 15 against the Phillies a couple days ago. What is going on with the Royals? All of a sudden they can hit. Okay.
I don't know. Well,
I don't know.
you know,
Okay.
They're trying to be buyers and not sellers. Well, I don't know. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. We're gonna do every American League team and see if they are buyers or sellers. We're also going to do more than that here in our baseball talk. We're going to talk about who is ahead right now, ABS challenges as a hitter. Like I said, we're going to do a little bit of the American League as far as buyers and sellers at the trade deadline, who should be what. We're going to look at the home run derby. And then lastly here in this segment, there are 4 choices. Chase Burns, Jacob Mezarowski, Chris Sale, or Christopher Sanchez. And Cheese and I will have a discussion as to who we would pick to start the National League in the All-Star game. So that's what we're going to do right now. Can't wait to start everything. So let's get to it, buddy. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I got to pull a picture up here. So let me take the heading off real quick. Make all these changes, and then we got to pull this picture up and we'll discuss it. Here it is. So most ABS challenges won as a batter. There's the graphic for you. We're going to pause that music in the background for a moment, and I'm going to ask you the following questions based on this graphic. So as you can see, Sal Stewart leads all batters in most won ABS challenges as a hitter. We're not talking about any other position, just as a hitter. So, Cheese, what does this say about the fact, considering that Sal Stewart's a rookie?
His knowledge of the strike zone is tremendous. That is unbelievable. He's I mean, there's no one close. I mean, at 23-15, that's like 50% higher than the next guy almost. And Jose Altuve is like 5'5". So he should be up there.
The strike zone's this big.
Right. And I looked up Sal Stewart. I saw this. You said this to me, and I'm like, okay, Sal Stewart, 5'9", 5'10". He's 6'1". He's 6'1". So that's tremendous. I for a rookie to have that eye, that knowledge of strike zone, it's tremendous.
So you've watched plenty of baseball in your life. I've watched plenty of baseball in my life. We're going to talk about this together. What difference would you think that this could make in a game, winning an ABS challenge?
I guess it depends, if it's 1-0, 0-1, maybe not. But if you've seen this too, where it's 3-2 and they call strike 3 and they challenge and nope, it's a ball and you walk. Not only do you walk, you get on base, depending on maybe his base is loaded, maybe not, but like the pitcher has to throw more pitches. So when you win a challenge, like that, you don't not only get on base or get a longer count or a better count, but you force the pitcher to throw more pitches. So I think depending on the situation, it can be very beneficial.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting if you look at this list. Sal Stewart, rookie. Mark Vientos, I believe, second or third year in the league, and he plays for the Mets. That's already given him he's already under the canvas for doing that. Jose Caballero, I believe, second year with the Yankees, if I'm not mistaken, and Kevin McGonigal, a rookie. So not much experience here. But I also think because there's not much experience here, I think. These umpires, as we showed earlier, a lot of them have been with the league for double-digit years. And I think a lot of the players who have been there double-digit years have a relationship with those umpires, and they don't want to show them up. That's kind of been the whole thing behind this. Is we've talked about this before. Is that going to upset the umpires? And I think maybe some of these rookies are just like, shoot, I'm just going to tap my helmet and see what happens. What do you think about that?
I think so too, but I just think Sal Stewart's really confident. You just watch him swing, watch him play. He's a very confident hitter. I think that's kind of an underrated thing. People are like, confident. Like you can see hitters sometimes they're very hesitant. They're just trying to foul a pitch off. They don't believe they can hit this pitcher. And he walks up and he just looks confident. And the fact he wins so many challenges tells that he knows he's going to win it. And I think that's an underrated trait for MLB hitter.
And the last thing that I want to ask you here, kind of going along with the same thing, do you think pitchers will now pitch these guys differently because they know that they win a lot of these challenges and they have such a good eye for the strike zone?
Absolutely. Trust me, there's an analytical stat for everything. The pitchers on their iPads or iPods or whatever they give them, they're getting a list of hitters that challenge more and ones that challenge less. The ones that hardly ever challenge, well, maybe you can throw a little more outside. He's probably not going to challenge it. So absolutely, they know who's going to challenge more often than others.
Okay, I agree with you. I think that's the right case as well. This is going to be an interesting exercise. That's why I wanted to do it second here. We're kind of breaking up a few of these things. We're going to talk about Sal Stewart a little bit more later on in the program. We are also going to do a couple more things here in our four-pitch talk that's presented by fivecourt.com. We'll talk about the home run derby, and we'll look at which pitcher should start the All-Star game for the National League. We'll give you four choices. And as always, all of you can comment on all of these things as we continue to go through. So wild card matchups, okay? And who should be buyers and sellers at this trade deadline? I'm going to look at a lot of different factors here, Cheese. But first I want to tell everybody the three division winners right now would be, believe it or not, Tampa Bay. Yes, they're winning.
They've been having a really good stretch, yeah.
They've had a fantastic stretch, 7-3 in their last 10. Even though they've lost 3 in a row, they're still 7-3 in their last 10.
They won tonight. They did win tonight.
Did they win tonight? Okay, so this is not counting tonight's games, obviously. The Seattle Mariners now are all of a sudden ahead in the West with a 47-44 record. And maybe the most surprising of the three, the Chicago White Sox, with a 47-42 record, are leading their division as well, the American League Central. 6-4 record. They've won their last 2, again, not counting tonight. Here's the thing, and we'll get more into this later. All three of these teams have a plus run differential. I know I'm big on it. Some of you are probably not. Tampa Bay plus 31, Chicago plus 26, Seattle plus 27. We'll get into this more and more and more. If the season ended yesterday, we're not counting today's games because I don't feel like we can because we've only got half the slate done already, so we're going off of yesterday. Here are the 3 wildcard teams. The third place wildcard team would be the Texas Rangers. The second place wildcard team would be the Cleveland Guardians. And the first place wildcard team would be the New York Yankees. So your playoffs in the AL would be Tampa Bay, Chicago, Seattle, New York, Cleveland, and Texas. Cheese, for this exercise, if I can get that word out, it's because I don't do it very often. I guess I never say it. So for this exercise, we're going to start at the bottom, the team with the worst record, and go up. And we're going to decide as we get to each team if they're buyers or sellers. And then, Cheese, I'm going to give you one team that you can say, fence. I'm on the fence. I don't know if they'd be buyers or sellers. I'll give you one team to make that assertion with as we go along. So, Cheese, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim with a 36-55 record. They are currently 9.5 games out of the final wild card spot. Buyers or sellers?
The Angels?
Yes.
Sellers, they suck.
And they've got some pieces. They really do.
When are they going to trade Trout? They just need to trade him. They just need to just rebuild, retool. They just need to do it.
I agree. They could trade Trout. I would love for them to trade Joe Adell to a certain team that just got beat by the Phillies tonight. If you don't know, I'll reveal it now. We'll probably talk about it more. Him and Hunter Green are really good friends. So I would love for that trade to happen. But the Angels do have some pieces. I can't remember their pitcher's name right offhand, but he was in a good stretch there for a while as a starter.
Soriano?
I believe that's correct, yes. So they've got some, what do we want to call them, intangible type pieces. I mean, Sholowell at first base, you might be able to get something for him. I don't know, but definitely Mike Trout. I agree with you.
Yeah,
trade. Sure. Listen to me. Artie Moreno. It's time to trade Trout.
Marina's an idiot, though.
All right, so that's the team that's in last place right now in the division. They were 9.5 games out. The team we just spoke about a few moments ago are 8.5 games out. As you said, in the last, 2 of their last 3 games, they have just absolutely beaten the tar out of teams. 15 runs, and then I think 16 runs.
Yeah, I mean, they've given up 11 tonight, though. It's not like their pitching injuries have been, their pitching sucks. Their pitching injuries have been devastating. So they're terrible. Yeah.
And they are the Kansas City Royals, 37-54 record. That's a .407 winning percentage. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They have, so the Anaheim Angels are a -58 when it comes to run differential. The Kansas City Royals are a -71 when it comes to run differential. So as you said, yes, they scored a bunch of runs the last few nights, but they've given up a bunch of them too. So what do you think? Kansas City, buyers or sellers, even though they've had a really big run of injury?
No, it's sellers. Obviously, they're not. Keep the main core players together, but sell like your guys that are free agents, maybe some veterans won't help you in 2 or 3 years from now. But I don't think they'll be major sellers, but they need to sell.
Okay. So they definitely don't need to buy, right? I mean, that's the other side of the equation.
No, they're not buying. There's no way they're buying.
Okay. Sell. Yes, we agree. I apologize. I was looking at some other spots before I came back over here, and then I saw it in the corner saying that we have some comments here.
They have a really good lefty reliever, Daniel Lynch, that they could get something for. He's been, everyone needs left-handed relief help, so they could maybe get something for him.
Okay. And we've said here, John's going to be at the Rangers game on Sunday. I want to go to that new stadium, John. Tell me what it's like, would you please? You can comment next week and tell us what you thought about that stadium and if it's great. Right field foul pole, taking my glove. So, yeah, I assume that means he'll be down the right field line, and he's taking his glove in case something gets close to him. So hopefully, buddy, you can get something. And then if you want, John, come out and see me out here in Arizona. They play out here. I'm sure that if you get a ball, I can get a signature on that for you. So, not that I'm bragging or anything, but brag. Okay. So, do that. Let us know what it is. Come out and see us here, and then we'll be able to do some different things, man. And I want to compliment everybody. We are close to 100 views right now live on the Lights Out Sports podcast.
Good.
See if we can get over that 100 view mark before the end of the show. So, Cheese, we have said that the Angels are sellers. We've said that the Royals are sellers. I think here is our first interesting one because the Angels are 9.5 out. The Royals are 8.5 out. The American League as a whole has not been very good this year. There are only, 7 teams that are above 500 as of yesterday. And here's one. Yes, they're 10 games under 500, again, as of yesterday, but they're only 5 games out of that final wild card spot, and they have the best record in June, as you pointed out and sent to me. They are the Detroit Tigers. Buyers, Cheese, sellers, or are you going to use your fence here?
They need to do one of 2 things. Mm-hmm. They need to just go in and buy. They need to do it now. Buy now or sell now. That's what I think they should do. They have a bunch of veterans that are free agents. They have a veteran team. So they just need to do it now. And the sooner you do, the more you can get for someone like Skubal. So they either sell now or just go for it this year and buy now. They've been playing better. The run differential you mentioned that's important. They're plus 15 despite being 9 or 10 games under 500. So 10. So it says 9 here, so they must have won tonight. I think just screw it. Buy. Go for it. They have a winnable division. They're only 4.5 out of the wild card. Buy.
Interesting. Even though they're 10 games under 500, you're going to have them buy.
They've been playing much better, and they got Skubal back. All that time they were missing Skubal, that kills you. So they're playing better. They have a good team. They made the playoffs last year. So,
you're probably going to disagree with me until maybe you look at the numbers. Skubal's not been their best pitcher. Casey Mize has been.
Still,
When I
still
thought
Scooble. Still Scooble. Yeah.
he's still Scooble, right? You're going to have to pay him. So I like to kind of look at teams and have a plan. My plan for the Detroit Tigers would be sign Casey Mize to a long-term contract because he's not going to be near as expensive as Scooble is. You've got Riley Green. You've got what's the catcher's name that you were singing the praises of last week?
Dingle. Yes, Dingle.
Yes.
Yes.
I love him. You've got veteran leadership there in Javi Baez.
Dylan Dingler. Dylan Dingler. I feel like that guy. It's like a 70s porno name. It
almost scares you to say it live on a podcast. Oh my gosh! Got to say his name slowly. So
yes.
They've got some parts over there. I like the young players that they have. I wish I could. I've got too many windows open right now. I'm scared to crash this thing if I open up too many more. But I love the other outfielder they have. I can't remember his name right offhand. No, he's a good Christian guy. You've got, as we saw, McGonigal, right? That was
one of the best prospects in baseball. One of the best young players.
Prospects. Yeah. So they've got young, they've got veteran leadership, they've got good pitching, they've got good hitting, they play good defense, and they've got the positive run differential, which I really like. You have to have that. Again, as of yesterday, they're plus 11 in the run differential spot. So, yes. I'm with you. I'm going to buy. But one caveat to this. If I'm going to buy, I'm going to buy everybody. I'm going to straight go for it. It's going to be me and the Yankees battling out for that spot, right? And I'm just going to buy more people than they are. They need another closer.
Yeah,
they need Mason Miller. Think of that.
He's not good against the Cubs, I'll tell you that much. But they don't have to play the Cubs. They're probably okay. Let's do it. I think the Tigers. I think they're going to continue to play well, and I think by the deadline, I think they'll be probably right around 500 or close to it. So I think they'll buy.
Okay, and then here's the next one. This one to me is the most intriguing team that we're going to talk about today, and my buddy Seacott over at where I work at should be very happy that I'm about to praise his team because I've been knocking his team for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I just can't do it anymore. The Boston Red Sox are all of a sudden 40-48. They are all of a sudden 4 games back in the wild card. In their last 10 games, they are 8-2. They've won 3 in a row. And you know how I am here. Positive run differential is 5. So they are up on everybody. Here's where, for some reason, they have fallen and they have to improve. They are 17-27 at home. And they're actually 23-21 on the road. It's a little weird of a stat, but they are. So, Cheese, I'll ask you first. The Boston Red Sox, buyers, sellers?
No, they've been playing better lately, but Ranger Suarez has left abductor tightness, whatever that means.
It's his stomach, by the way, that thing that you only feed and never work out.
Abs. There you go. Yeah, my 8-pack. I got an 8-pack.
Yes, so your 8-pack.
Yes, my 8-pack.
From Deutsche Snacking Company, yes.
Yes. Sell Boston. No. Suarez is hurt. Sell. I don't see them being a factor at all. I think it's pretty easy for me, at least.
This is my fence. I'm going to take my fence right here.
Okay.
I like how they're playing, but they've got to do a little more for me. They got to have more than 17 wins at home. They've got a really good offense. And I just think to myself, what's going to be more and readily available this season, I believe, is starting pitching. And for a team like the Boston Red Sox that already has the offense, and if they get a couple more starters that could really push them over the edge,
to me, Boston is underachieved. They haven't scored enough runs. Their lineup's underachieved, in my opinion. I think that's a bigger problem. I think that's a bigger problem. But
they have underachieved, but they're doing better. So how can you say, oh yeah, the Tigers should buy because now they've got Skubal and they're doing better, and the Red Sox actually have a better record than the Detroit Tigers do, have won 8 of their last 10, and then you go, no, they should sell.
Because Ranger Suarez is hurt for the Red Sox, Terry Skubal's back for the Tigers. I think the Tigers are a better team.
Okay.
Simple.
Simple, he says. It's simple. It's simple.
I think the Tigers have underachieved probably as much as anyone in the American League. So I just think they're going to be better. They're 41-50 according to this. I think they could be close to 500 by the time we get to August 1st. So yeah.
Yeah. And the difference between what Cheese is talking about and what I'm looking at is I looked at it yesterday on purpose because I didn't want the games to be skewed. So yes, that is their current up to the minute record is 41-50. Next, 4 games out. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They've lost 3 in a row, and they're a -72. Yes, they are. They have the worst run differential in the American League. They're -72. The Oakland Athletics. Well, they're not Oakland anymore. The Sacramento Athletics.
The Athletics, yeah.
That's the Athletics. Cheese, buyers or sellers?
Sell, lost 4 straight, -76 run differential. We talked about this when we did our previous show and predictions. I said they're a year away. They don't have the pitching. The pitching is abysmal. They have a bunch of really good young bats.
Mm-hmm.
I like the future, but it's not this year. Absolutely sell.
But Cheese, they're in a division with the Angels, the let's see, Angels,
Mariners,
Rangers,
Rangers,
who are in first place,
and Astros.
Yes. Aren't those winnable teams right now? Don't you think the Athletics
they don't have the pitching?
can beat them?
No, because they don't have the pitching. The pitching is abysmal. It's abysmal. They can score, no doubt about it. I love Nick Kurtz. I love their young lineup. They have some absolute studs, but they just don't have any pitching.
Okay. I'm with you. I think they should sell. I may have changed my mind, but Laureano is out now, and he will be for the rest of the season. So that's a huge bat for them. I think that makes them sellers. Now, I don't want them to sell off a bunch of their young, talented players, but they do have a few veterans that they can sell off, and I think they can get a few things back. So,
yeah.
All right. We are a little over halfway through our list here, so let's go next to a team that is 3.5 games out. There are 2 teams. There are 3.5 games out. Now, just for reference here, if you start with the Tigers are 5, the Red Sox are 4, the Athletics are 4, and the team that we're going to get to next is 3.5, and the team that we're going to do after that is 3.5. So these teams are all really, really close together, right? So we said Detroit is selling. We said Detroit should buy. Boston for me was fence. For you was sell. Athletics, both of us say sell. And next, the Baltimore Orioles sit at 42-49. They are 3.5 games back, 4-6 in their last 10, but they're a -28 run differential. They're the opposite of the Red Sox. They have a winning record at home and a losing record on the road. So, Cheese, the Baltimore Orioles have some real talent. What do you think they should do here, buy or sell?
Same problem with the Athletics. It's been a problem for Baltimore for years, minus the 100-win season. They don't have the pitching. They lost tonight to the Cubs. They should sell. They're not going to compete with the Yankees or Rays. I think it's pretty easy sell.
Okay, so you sell and you try to get some good young pitching? Is that what you try to do?
Yeah, they have some good young hitters, although Gunnar Henderson's having a down. Rushman hasn't been as good. I don't know what's going on in Baltimore, honestly. A lot of the young hitters are having down years, but the pitching, they have not had good pitching for years now. They've got to get some pitching. So, yeah, they don't they can't compete. Even though they have a slightly better record than the Tigers, they are not better than them. I think they should absolutely sell.
Okay. So you're selling with the Orioles. I'm going to do the same thing. I was very frustrated over the weekend when at Cincinnati, the Reds were only able to beat them one time. I was really hoping for a sweep because I think that's where Baltimore's at. Just kind of showed me where Cincinnati's at too, and now they've lost to the Phillies tonight. So, yeah, I was pretty disappointed in all that. And again, Baltimore, a losing record on the road. They're 18-26. They're a negative 28 run differential, and they're in a tough division. So they almost have to go out and sign. They're probably going to have to go out and overpay for a pitcher or two, but they're going to have to get some pitching in order to compete in that division. Speaking of that division, the other team that is 3.5 games out, they won the division last year. In fact, they went to the World Series last year. You talked about Detroit being the team that has been, the most underachieving. I think that goes to this team. The Toronto Blue Jays, they're 42-49. They're 3.5 games out. They are 3-7 in their last 10. And you know where I'm going to go because of this stat. Their run differential, negative 51.
Fence. So.
Oh, fence.
I do not know what happened to their lineup. This was one of the best lineups in baseball last year. They should have won the World Series. It's like everybody but Ernie Clement is having down year. Alejandro Kirk sucks, 182. Dalton Varsho has not been very good. George Springer has not been very good. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was one of the best hitters in baseball going this year. He has 4 home runs for this season. He's in 263. What the heck happened? They just don't. All these guys that were really good last year stink. What the heck happened to their lineup? But at the same time, they have talent. It's a really good roster. It's one of the best rosters in baseball. Mm-hmm. So they're that team that what happens the next 3 weeks will be huge. Like they're not. I'm sure they haven't decided what they're doing, but they have got to have a good run. They've got to get back to at least 500. I don't know how far away from the wild card, like 4 games, I think, something like that.
3.5.
So they're right there, but they have lost 3 straight. So they've got to have a good run. But if they, even if they play 500 the next 3 weeks, they need to sell. But I'm on the fence. I just don't know how this lineup could be this bad.
Yeah, they're. I think they're the most underachieving team in the American League. They went from going to the World Series to being 3.5 games out of the wild card.
Game 7, and they should have won. They blew 2 games. They couldn't hit anything with man scoring position. Anything. They get 1 hit there. They went. They blew 2 games. I mean, they really were better than Dodgers in that series. They should have won it. And now we see a team that I am shocked that they're below 500 at all. But their lineup has been a disaster.
And I'm going to give you 2 names. We'll talk about this more and more as we get closer and closer to the deadline. We'll do our deadline show and everything else. The Blue Jays have veteran Shane Bieber, and the Blue Jays have veteran Max Scherzer. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens to those 2 guys as the trade deadline gets closer. Now you've got 2 teams, Cheese, that are only a game and a half out of that final wild card spot that currently the Texas Rangers hold. The first team that we're going to talk about from the Twin Cities, they're 44-47, which is a .484 winning percentage. Again, as I said, they're only a game and a half out of that final wild card spot. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They do have a negative run differential, but it's only 17. They are basically the same home and away. Again, not counting today's record. They are 22-23 at home, and they're 22-24 away from Target Field. And here's a stat that might kind of push you over the edge or not. Against teams that are 500, they're 20-26. And I want to throw this one out there. The Blue Jays against teams over 500 are 17-32. Oof. Minnesota Twins. Buyers, Cheese. Sellers. You've already used your fence. Both of us have. So we got to go buyer and seller now.
I'm going to sell. I think they've overachieved. I don't think they expected to be in this situation, kind of like the Cardinals, which we'll talk about next week. I think they should sell. I think Josh Bell, Byron Buxton have been playing amazing. Brooks Lee. But Byron Buxton's hurt now. But I think they've overachieved. I really think they should maybe even shop Joe Ryan. They can get a ton for him. I think the Twins, I don't necessarily see a team that's going to be a contender next 2 years. So I think they should sell and really load up on young talent.
All right, well, that's interesting. Now, it's not interesting that Byron Buxton's hurt. I mean, surprise, 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 right? He was
That's
having
not
a fantastic
helping.
year,
It's
too.
been tremendous, yeah.
And all of a sudden he gets hurt again. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Maybe the gals in the comments can tell us what it is. I didn't even realize he was hurt. So you're giving me news that I didn't know about here.
Oh, he was put on the DL, I think, today. So
Was it today? Okay.
He has a right hip strain.
Which will affect his speed, which will affect his play in the outfield, which, it's almost worse for him to have a lower body injury than it would be to have an upper body injury. So
When he's healthy, he's amazing. He's just never healthy.
Yes, he's
really good. That's going to kill.
He was going to do it this year too.
But that's going to kill their chances. I know they're only one game of the wild card, but let's be honest. Like I said, they've overachieved. They're not a team that can compete even if they get in the playoffs, so they should sell.
Okay, I would agree with you on the fact that they have probably overachieved. Yes, I'm going to agree with you. I guess I don't know. I was kind of on the fence with this one. I like how their team is made up. I think their catcher is going to probably get traded, but it's hard to trade a catcher in the during the season because you got to.
Caratini. You're talking about Caratini?
No, Jeffers, I believe.
Oh, well, I think he could trade Victor Caratini because he's been on so many teams. He knows all the pitchers. I think you could trade him. But I think Joe Ryan, you could get probably 2 top 50 prospects and then maybe another 2 decent prospects for him.
I agree with that.
I think that could be one of the best trade chips, and they should just see what they can get.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying I disagree with you. It should be interesting. And here for me is the most interesting team out there. I was going to do a deep dive on these guys earlier in the year, and I decided not to. I decided to wait and see what happens. All of a sudden, they're 45-48. They are, as the Minnesota Twins are, they are a game and a half out. They're 5-5 in their last 10. So they're also a negative 45 in the run differential department, which scares me a little bit. They're 19-24 against teams over 500 as well. So that gives me a little trepidation. But it's the Houston Astros, the team that's close to you, buddy. What do you think the Houston Astros should do, buy or sell?
Buy. They had all these pitching injuries. They're doing better. They won tonight, so they're 46-48. They're like right there. Let me see. They're 2 games out of division. Alvarez having an amazing year. I think they're going to go. I think it's going to go really well the rest of the year. They got Hunter Brown back, so yeah, absolutely buy Astros.
Interesting. By the way, over on our X account at All Gloves Off SM, there's a nice little video on the 4th of July. Yordan Alvarez hit 2 home runs. One of them, the second one, of course, was the walk-off, and he celebrates with someone. I won't give it away. It's a pretty neat moment. So go over to, we have the video up, All Gloves Off SM. See who Yordan Alvarez celebrates with. It's a pretty nice. It's under 30 seconds, so it won't take too much of your time, and it might warm your heart all at the same time. So it's a pretty nice video. Go over and look at it. I don't think I'm going to agree with you on this one. I don't really think Houston's that talented. They have the best hitter in baseball, in my opinion, Yordan Alvarez. And if they don't have him, where would they be? I'm not trading him, but I think they need more around him. I think it's time to move on from Jose Altuve if you can get something for him. And they've got several. Josh Hader they can trade off. They've got some good relievers they can trade off. And they can do what they did a few years ago. You trade off 5 or 6 of your guys, you reload, you come back stronger, and look what they did. They went on a 10-year run. And I think they have to have enough courage to do it again this season. Trade off a bunch of their pieces and then go on a 10-year run in 2 years. So I would be in trade mode if I were the Houston Astros.
They won't be.
We'll see.
Okay.
All right, so we've looked at all of those American League teams that are not in the playoffs right now. We were looking at sell or trade. Give me just a second here. I clicked away from it. We'll go over them real fast here. So we both said sell Angels. We both said sell Royals. We both said buy for the Tigers. I used my fence for the Red Sox. You said to sell. We both said sell for the Athletics. We both said sell for the Orioles. You used your fence for the Toronto Blue Jays. I said sell. We both said sell for the Twins. You said buy for the Astros, and I said sell for the Astros. So not even we can come up with the same answers for all those teams. So it'll be interesting to see what their general managers do from point A to point B. All right, that's our second part of our four pitch talk here. That is presented by. Let me remember. 5core.com. There we go. So that's who's giving us this one today. Let's talk about the home run derby for a second, Cheese. Now, I know that you don't necessarily love the home run derby, and it's been a while since you watched, so I'll start there. Why don't you watch the home run derby?
It's boring. It's just so boring. It's just I went to batting practice once at a major league game and I was bored. It's batting practice. It's I haven't watched it in probably 25 years or more.
I didn't realize you were even 25 years old, sir. You look so young and refreshed over there. So,
yeah, and I get 25 years ago. When you turn 40, I get it. Yeah, so
Thanks.
You remember.
I remember all of that stuff. You're right. So, is there anything that Major League Baseball could do that would get you to tune in?
Probably not. Okay, so I enjoyed it when it was Sosa and McGuire, and it turns out they were on steroids. That was fun to see them hit those 500-foot home runs. It was fun. I remember there was one in Milwaukee, I think it was, and it was just amazing. Like they were going at it and hitting it over the slide, and it was so cool. And I don't think so. I think it's just boring. I tried to watch it like a year or two after that, and it was like, I remember one year, I think the last year I watched it, Garrett Anderson won, and I was just like it was so boring. Like, why are we watching Garrett Anderson hit home runs? Like, so I don't. There's nothing about it that just gets me excited. What about you?
I like it, and I like the changes I think that are coming. We'll talk about those changes here in the last part of this segment. But we know two people who are going to be in the home run derby. We know Junior Caminero from the Tampa Bay Rays will be in it, and then we also know this guy, Ben Rice. He announced today that he is going to be in the home run derby. Does this make you want to watch it all? Ben Rice, Junior Caminero, one of the brightest young guys in the business right now. Still doesn't want to make you watch?
Not at all.
Well, you're just a buzzkill.
Just being honest. That's not going to.
Well, that's fine. I want you to be honest. I want all of our fans to be honest as well.
There's no real Adam Dunn anymore. Even like there's just I want to the fun thing about it was watching these massive runs that went 500 feet, and there's just these guys. Ben Rice, yeah, that's not going to get me to watch it all.
Okay, all right. So they are going to change the rules. So let me ask you this: regardless if they're an all-star or not, because you're big on, and we've talked about this a few times, I want the best players. Would you like baseball to change it to where they say anybody can be in the home run derby? You don't have to be an all-star.
I don't care.
I'm just going to put a shotgun under my chin for this segment and we'll be done.
You
warned me before we did this. You're like, I could care less about the home run.
I just don't watch it. That would not change me watching it at all. What do you think?
I don't know. It would be intriguing to see some different people who maybe aren't all stars but can hit the home run ball really well. Like, what if Alvarez didn't make it? Jordan Alvarez. That's the guy I want to see. So even though he's not, or, if he wouldn't make the All-Star team, that's the guy I'd want to be hitting the home runs. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think the rule should be there just in case. That's the guy I want to see. That's the guy that would make me tune in. So there's a change. Well, there's a couple changes. It'll be on Netflix this year. So that's a change. I don't know how well or how bad Netflix will do with it.
Probably not well.
We'll see. And this year it's going to be swings, not seconds. There's no more clock this year. So in round 1, you get 20 swings. In round 2 and 3, you get 15 swings. And there's no grouping people together. Everybody starts off at the same in the beginning, and we just go. So if you then homer, though, on your final swing, you get to continue swinging until you don't homer anymore. I almost hate to ask this question, but I love these changes. What about you? Do you like the changes at all? And I'll tell you why I like them here in a second.
No, because they make it more boring because they're going to take all these pitches. The swings, they're going to take pitches and take pitches. That's one of the boring things about it. So, no, I don't like it at all. But I'm not going to watch anyway.
I like it because I want to be able to, if I'm a team, I think there's not as much anyway of an excuse for you to tell your player not to be in this derby because it's off of swings now. You're not swinging with everything you have and then swinging with everything you have 2 seconds later and swinging with everything because you're trying to win. I like the swings and not seconds part of it. Give me the 20 swings. And I understand you're saying, oh, it's boring and I don't want to do it. To me, it's not. If, and this is the big if, this is what Netflix is going to have to do. They're going to have to get some good commentators in there. I mean, I thought about asking you to do it with me until I found out that you really hate this thing. So it would probably not be great podcasting, but I like it. And I think if you can talk about interesting things between the swings, you'll be okay. It's can they do that? I didn't like the format where you were just swinging over and over and over again because the announcers would be like, okay, there it goes. It looks like it's going to go. Oh, wait, there's another one because they would hit them so fast. Because the timer was counting down. It's kind of like you in the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5, right? You would just, there's sometimes where I'm trying to almost rush you to make sure you get there in the 5 minutes and you want to keep talking about a subject.
Yeah.
So I like this format, and I think this format will be better for the player and it will be more entertaining for the fan who watches it. So that's why I like it. It's the home run derby. You're not real big on it. I like it. It'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. Here's the fourth thing on our 4 Down territory brought to you by 5core.com. It is this. Let me again take this off the top because I got a picture to put up here, right? Here are the 4 guys. Which National League pitcher should start this year's All-Star game? Now, Cheese, don't answer because I wanna hype this up a little bit. First question for you: how many more chances will Chris Sale get, and do you think that should influence people to vote him in?
I don't think it should influence the decision. Look, Chris Sale is, he's aging like fine wine. He's pitching amazing. And, when pitchers get older, one thing I try to look is how are they getting people out? Are they missing bats still? Or are they just smarter than the hitter? Are they changing speeds? He's still missing bats. It's like when Verlander and Scherzer got into their late 30s, they were still missing bats. They're in their 40s now. That's what I want to see. And Sale's still missing bats, so he could be good for several more years. It's amazing how good he is.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you on the whole missing bats thing, but I wonder if it's looked at as he's the oldest guy here and he might not have too many good years left, and we should give him an all-star start this year because of that. I don't know. I don't know how it's all going to shake out. So let's look at the second part here. Burns and Mizorowski will both get more opportunities, kind of the opposite of Chris Sale here. I think both of them will get more opportunities to start. Do you think that will influence people going, oh, well, we don't need to give them the start this year because those two guys are young, they're flamethrowers, they're excellent pitchers. I'm sure they're going to get more starts. What do you think about that, Chase?
Maybe. We've seen pitchers just get hurt, never the same. You never know. Like some of the young players have been amazing. Some of the best. Chris Bryant was one of the best players in baseball his first 4 or 5 years, and we saw what happened to him. So, of course, it's pitching, but like pitching get hurt. So I don't think that should be a factor at all. I don't think, they have more opportunities. So we shouldn't let them be the starter. No, I don't think that should have anything to do with it.
Okay. I think that is going to have something to do with it when everybody picks and we figure out who this starter is going to be, but we'll see. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, there's no fan vote here. There's no player vote here. This is the manager's decision as who will start this game. Thirdly here, and then we'll reveal who we think should do it. Before we do our batting cleanup here, presented by ForwardFan.com, we'll do that here in just a moment. Sanchez might not even be the best pitcher on his own team, but it would be special to let him start it because he's a Philadelphia Philly and it's in Philadelphia. First, do you think he's the best pitcher on his own team? And secondly, do you think he will be voted as the starter simply because he plays for the team where the game is being played at?
I guess it'd be good for the city, but like he doesn't, of all those pitchers, I think he's probably least deserves it. He's the second best pitcher to Wheeler on his team. To answer your question, I think he's the second best. Yeah. And then I also think, he's not been good the last 5 starts. He was obliterated by the Royals his last start, 9 runs in 3 innings. So he's not pitching well. So I would, the other 3 deserve it much more.
Okay, so then let's do that. Let's eliminate Christopher Sanchez because I agree with you. I watched him just get pounded by the Royals the other night. He's not been good over his last 5 starts. There's no need to go through the numbers. We can just say that and move on. If our fans want to know, they can go over and look at his stats whenever they want. Chris Sale, Chase Burns, Jacob Mezorowski. I'm going to say something about Mezorowski that's probably not going to go over well. When he started this last time in Cincinnati, he should have had 4 more earned runs than what he had. He was protected. There was a play to where there was an error made, and they gave that he should have had more earned runs. So
4 more, yeah. You give up 5 runs, only 1 earned. Yeah.
Right. And when you give up the 4 more earned runs, that would make a huge difference in his numbers. I kind of think he's the darling right now, and he's almost protected. So I'm going to hold a bias against him and say I don't want Mezorowski starting. So now I'm going to narrow it down to Burns and Sale. Cheese, who do you want to start?
Well, I think Mezorowski should still start despite that. I don't like the Brewers. I've never liked the organization. I don't like them at all. But I think Mezorowski should start. His strikeout number is amazing. He's been terrific. Maybe he's been a little more human lately, but I think he's been the most dominant of those 4 pitchers as far as this year. So I know you eliminated him, but as much as I'd love for Sale, I'm a Braves fan. I'd love it for it to be Sale, but if I was the manager, I would pick Mezorowski.
All right, well, if I'm the manager, I'm going to go with Chris Sale. I want my experienced guy out there because the nerves, the butterflies, all that kind of stuff. I would go to Chase Burns and say, you will pitch in this game. I would go to Jacob Mezorowski and I will say, you will pitch in this game. I would go to Christopher Sanchez and says, I'm saving you to the end in case we go to extra innings. But that's what I would do. I think the 2 young guys should be happy with being all-stars and should be happy with being able to get out there and pitch on that mound. And we let Chris Sale, because of his veteran leadership and those other things that I've already mentioned, if I was picking and I was the manager, he'd be my guy to start.
I would love it.
Okay, excellent. I appreciate your feedback. We appreciate everyone else's feedback, and you can certainly do that on our chat right up there in the top right-hand corner. Just click on it. As long as you're talking about what we are talking about, then we will certainly do that for you. ForwardFan.com is who presents our final segment of the evening, our batting cleanup. Are you an MLB fan? We here at All Gloves Off Sports Media are, and we want to help you get cheap seats to the World Series. How do you do that? You not just plan ahead, you forward fan plan ahead. So let me explain. You can go to the scan code that we have. We'll have that for you. You can go to forwardfan.com. It is /AGO10. That gets you 10% more off of these tickets from forwardfan.com. You go there, you go to forwardfan.com, you click on it, and you choose which event you want. They do have World Series available, NBA Finals, Stanley Cup Finals. They do have NCAA basketball championships, and of course, that big game that we can't really refer to by its real name that'll be played on February 14th. You then select your venue. You select your event that you want to go to, and then you select your team. And then you just lock in your price. Here's an example. So the Chicago White Sox were $10 a ticket when everything first began here with fanforward.com at the beginning of the season. Now they're in first place in the AL Central, and they've jumped from $10 to $70. Now, regular ticket prices are still going to be $1,500 plus. But, ladies and gentlemen, you should go get these tickets before they increase even more. We made it easy for you. So you just go to www.forwardfan.com /AGO10. You get that extra 10% discount at the checkout. And if you fan forward ahead, you can lock in cheaper prices to the best sporting events, as it's brought to you by All Gloves Off Sports Media and the Lights Out Sports Podcast. All right, Cheese, let's get to our last segment here, buddy. It is batting cleanup. I will leave that right there for a moment. Take this picture off because I've got another one to put on here. So let's remove this one. And, man, I love this. I texted this over to you. I love what this little kid did. I don't know how much of it you're going to... Yeah, you can see most of it right there on the screen. But I've got it pulled up here on another spot so that I can read this to you guys. Well, first of all, before I read it, Cheese, what do you think about this? This is... it says that Justin Steele got emotional after receiving this get well card from a young fan. The fan signed it there at the bottom. What do you think this did to Chris Sale when he reads this from a fan?
Well, Chris, I don't know what it did for Chris Sale, but Justin Steele.
I don't know why I said Chris Sale.
I think Justin Steele, I mean, he hasn't pitched in a year and a half, more than a year and a half. He's had a setback. He's probably frustrated, and he's probably seen some stuff on social media. The fans are unhappy. When are you going to pitch? When are you going to pitch? And then you see something like this, very positive little kid just wishing him the best. It probably, it makes him feel amazing. It makes him feel like, this is like all the hard work I'm doing. This kid's looking up to me. This kid's, wishing me well. I think it's amazing.
Yeah. So it says, "Dear Justin Steele, I'm not looking for an autograph." That would never be how I would start out one of these. But he says, I wanted to write you a get well soon card. I have been a diehard Cubs fan since the moment I was born. I watch the Cubs all the time, and it's much more exciting when you are pitching. I can't wait until hang on, let me click this and get this a little bigger for me. I'm old. I can't wait until the second half of the season when you are expected to return. Don't push it too much to get back really soon of you. It might you might get injured again. I love watching you pitch, and you're amazing. I love this last part. I don't know if you believe in God, but I do, and I am praying for you. From Tommy Lynch, I believe Orchard Park, Illinois is the name of the town. So, yeah, I love this, man. I really thought this was pretty neat. I wanted to put this up here just as an encouraging thing. I mean, most people, as you said, get on social media and they rip people and they tear these players apart. Here's a young man who was saying, hey, don't rush it. I love you, but do what's best for you. And whenever you get a chance, come back and see us. And I love how you pitch. And I mean, when Steele reads that, that's just, man. I mean, what does that have to do to him? It's one of those things. I'm sure he's gonna. If it was me, I'd frame it. It's a really cool moment, and I wanted to make sure that we brought this up.
Yeah, let's forget all the spelling errors.
Well, I mean, he's a kid, all right. That's why it was a little hard for me to read a couple spots of it. I'm like, okay, what's
there were many spelling errors. Yes,
you're just a grump today, all right. You don't like the home run derby. You don't like. I mean,
there's a lot of things I don't like. Do you want me to start the list? We'll be here for another 10 hours. All the things I don't like.
No, I do not want you to start the list. Let me do another one here. All right, Sal Stewart, our buddy here. We said we were going to talk about him later on. Here's Sal Stewart's quote on being named to the All-Star game. I hope you're a little more positive with Sal over here. He says, "This is a dream come true. I would watch the All-Star game every year with my dad. I called my dad. He started crying. Hopefully, a kid back home can sit with their dad and watch me play." What do you think of that statement from Sal Stewart?
It's awesome. It's just like, as a kid, like he was watching All-Stars and just hoping that he would be that. And then he's there. And so he's thinking about the same thing, the kids that are going to watch him wanting that. So, yeah, I think that's amazing. And, as a rookie to make it, it's really hard to do. Like 2 or 3 rookies, maybe a year make it. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, instead of thinking about himself, right? Instead of saying, "Oh, I'm probably going to get a bonus out of this."
I deserve this. I deserve this. I've been awesome this year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is refreshing. And I wanted to put this up here on our batting cleanup presented by ForwardFan.com to kind of, there's more of these that I'm going to do. I may try to do this a little bit more often. I like kind of the feel-good things, and I think that I need to give you a bunch of feel-good things so that, you're not as grumpy.
I will find something critical about it. I will.
I'm really surprised you didn't find anything critical about that one.
You should ask Shauna when we watch movies together. Every little thing I point out I have wrong with the movie or the TV show.
How does that woman stand you? I mean,
but do you know the Cubs have one All-Star? One guy, one player. Do you know that? That's it.
I did not. Who made it for them?
Pete Crow Armstrong. That is it.
That
is their only All-Star. But you know what? I was like, what? And then I looked at the team, looked at the stats. I'm like, okay. Yeah. I mean, Ben Brown probably would have made it, but he's hurt. So there you go. No one else really deserves it.
All right. Crazy. So it's a little saddening to you, but is it true? Is that what you're saying?
It is. Yeah. PCA obviously deserves it. He should be starting, but there's no one else on that team that's healthy that I think deserves it. So they got it right.
Nico Horner?
No, he is not. He had an awful June. He got hit on the head and just hasn't quite been the same. A lot of weak contact. I don't know what's going on with him. It's been a little bit better lately in July, but he had an awful June.
Interesting. Okay.
Michael Bush hasn't been as good as last year. Dansby's been a great defensively. Hasn't hit minus a 10-game stretch.
Right. He had an unbelievable 10-game stretch.
Unbelievable, but other than that, he hasn't hit. Bregman's been a little better this week, but he hasn't been great. Seiya Suzuki's been up and down. Ian Happ, just his bat's not been great at all. Yeah.
Okay. You're proving your own point there. I like it. So
no one in the bullpen, definitely not.
No one in that bullpen. No. But it's the same thing for the Reds. Nobody in that bullpen. But
no.
Yeah. Okay. James Wood. It's not Woods, by the way. I hear a lot of people say Woods. It's not Woods. It is James Wood.
It's not the 70-something-year-old actor. No,
it's not. So he has 16 more runs scored than any other current player this season. The only other 2 players younger than 24, which Wood is 24, to lead MLB by 16 or more runs since 1900 at this point in the season were 2 pretty famous guys. Mike Trout back in 2012, and a guy that you're going to tell me that I remember, Ted Williams in 1940.
You remember
How
his rookie
impressive
year?
has James Wood been this season, Cheese?
He's a dude. He's huge. He's like 6'6", 6'7", but he's got tools, and he's good. It's not just like tools. Oh, can he develop? He's already good. He was good from when he was called up. He's got easy power. He takes a lot of walks. He's just a stud. He's going to be one of the best hitters probably in baseball for the next decade. So remember his name, James Wood. Not getting enough recognition probably because he's on the Nationals.
But the Nationals are doing pretty good. We'll talk about the
But
Nationals.
no one's talking about them. They're not getting national televised games. No one's talking. They weren't expected to be over 500. They are. But Nationals are trending up. Young team, but he and CJ Abrams at shortstop too. Two of the best young hitters in the game. So the Nationals have pieces.
Right. Okay. You know that I'm a big wrestling guy. We don't usually talk about it on this show. Don't roll your eyes at me when we talk about it here at the end.
No, I read what it's about. We should talk about it.
Yeah, we should talk about this.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're not that grumpy. Okay, good. So let me add some.
I'm not going to pick holes at this. I'm not. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not a monster.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Anyway. All right. So let me make sure that I get the name correct and go to another spot here. So this is Scarlett Guillen, I believe is how you say the last name, Guillen. The top picture there is Scarlett. She's on the top in the center. Charlotte Flair, the WWE wrestler, is on the right-hand side of your screen in that top picture. That's Ric Flair, her father there to the left, and then Scarlett's sister is who Ric Flair has his arm around. The bottom left and the bottom right are both Scarlett again. So let me explain this story to you here real quick. Hopefully I won't choke up on this one because this one, this one's going to get me a little bit if any of them do. So Charlotte Flair, this is 8-year-old Scarlett. She lost her battle on Monday to a deadly brain tumor. Here's a huge story behind it. Charlotte Flair was injured, was getting a divorce, was really down on her luck. The fans were really getting on to her. She was, we'll just say she was down. And at that time, she found Scarlett. Flair did 3 huge things to memorialize her little friend here. First, she canceled all of her commitments on Monday and drove straight to Scarlett's house and sat with her family as they mourned the loss of her daughter. Scarlett had done something similar, as there was a day to which she had the brain tumor thing going on. I believe she had chemo and all that kind of stuff, but she wanted to get to a local WWE show in order to see Charlotte. So they did a bunch of things like that during the day. They rushed. She was not feeling well at all, but she wanted to see Charlotte. So she got to the arena and she saw Charlotte Flair, who was her favorite WWE wrestler. That was when the two of them kind of hooked up. It was through Bayley, by the way, for those of you who are WWE people. Bayley did that, I believe, kind of backstage and all of that. Charlotte Flair also paid for her entire funeral. The family had spent every dime that they had trying to keep their little girl around for as long as possible. They had no money to bury her. So Charlotte did that completely out of her own pocket. And Charlotte has now started a children's brain tumor foundation in Scarlett's name, using her own money to do so. There is also a GoFundMe account if that's what our fans want to do, if they want to go over and donate anything to it. It is under the name Scarlett Guillen. If you want more information from it, I can send you links and things like that. I didn't want to put everything up there. Sometimes YouTube does not like it when you put different links up on the screen and things like that. But Cheese, I know you don't have kids. I've got one. I won't tell you the story of my daughter because I don't want to bore people, but it's pretty personal to me, and so is this. Talk to me a minute as a person who doesn't have children but can see the kind of difference that they can make in someone's life.
It's just an amazing story. It's just so tragic when 8-year-old, she was 8, you said, passed
Yes.
away at 8 years old. But you can't stop it, but there's other things you can do. And I don't think people realize how expensive funerals are. And so starting a foundation too is just amazing. And, it'll keep her memory alive, and that's what you want to do. So it's an amazing story.
Yeah, there's several things over on our X account if you want to get more information on this. This is not something that I'm trying to use to be like, oh, I'll go over to our X account and see all the stuff. We have plenty of followers and plenty of fans that do that. I don't need to do that. But this is a great story. And if you want more information on it, then by all means, please go over. I have Ric Flair's post. I have Charlotte's really long post. LA Knight gave a bunch of money. Bailey gave a bunch of money to it. Tyrese Halliburton actually gave a bunch of money to it as well. Basketball star. So
for the Pacers, yeah.
Yeah, from the Pacers, yes. He's a big WWE guy as well. So it's one of those things that one person can bring people together. I would encourage you to read what Charlotte Flair says about you, or says about her. But gentlemen, you might want to do it like alone in your car with nobody else around. Because if you can make it through it without a tissue, I'll give you all the kudos in the world. It's a fantastic story that I wanted to kind of bring light to, even though we usually don't do anything WWE related on the Lights Out Sports podcast. I wanted to do it this time because of the situation and what it means. All right, so that's the show. I know sometimes it's like, but again, we want to know what you guys want us to do. Talk to us. Go over on our social medias. Cheese, give us yours. Where are your socials at, buddy?
Right there, at Football Cheese on X. And then Football with Cheese on YouTube is my channel. No with in the X account. So just go subscribe to the YouTube. And let me know, too, when you go over my YouTube channel. There's 3 weeks to training camp. I'm trying to find videos to do. I need some ideas. So just don't say, hey, give me your top 10 quarterbacks. Please don't. People were begging me last year, so I did it, but I'm not doing it this year. We might do a special, me and Mike. We'll see. We might do a special where we record, maybe our top 20 quarterbacks. But, go to Football with Cheese, CHEZ.
Yeah, so we're trying to keep the podcast a little shorter. So you probably noticed that we cut the Lights Out list off of the end of it. It's one of the ways that we've decided to keep it shorter, but still bring you some great content as well. How are we going to do that? Are we going to do it on a separate show? Are we going to do it live? Are we going to record it? We're talking about some different things. Do you want to add anything to that show? So, you know what? We're going to give you guys the ability to give us some suggestions on that. So direct message us on either one of our social medias, especially on X. You can leave comments on the YouTube channel as well as to what you want us to do, either on Cheese's YouTube or on the All Gloves Off Sports Media YouTube channel. And we appreciate each and every one of your comments and each of you joining us today. Cheese, do you have any final thoughts before we let everybody go?
Yeah, sorry we did not do a full 2 or 3 hour, 4 hour MLB draft preview. I apologize for that. Mike just didn't want to do it, apparently.
Yeah, it was all my fault.
But the MLB draft is this weekend. I will watch. Most people do not, though. And we will talk about it next week as to why that is.
We will. We need some suggestions from you, and we're going to do it too. How can Major League Baseball make their draft as interesting and as buy-in worthy as the NFL does with their draft, or even the NBA does with their draft? Because I would say of the 3 major sports, baseball has the lowest participation with their drafts. So why is that? And how can they change it? We'll talk more about that next week. We will also do our buyers sellers on the National League. We'll do that next week as well. There was one more thing we were going to talk about. I told you I should have wrote it down. I have to go back and rewatch the show. Gosh, I have to torture myself twice. So we did say we were going to do another thing.
Lovely.
Do you know what it was?
No, I've forgotten by now.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's all right. We'll figure it out, and we'll make sure we do it next week. Right here.
If you're watching this tomorrow, if you're watching this not Tuesday night, just send us a message and let us know what Mike said.
Right? Because Mike can't remember.
Message us on X. We appreciate it. Appreciate everyone watching, everyone who commented. Let's go. Yes, let's go. Is that orange tea for the Vols? college football's coming soon. I can't wait. Late August, we're going to do a college football preview. Should be interesting because I think that there's a lot of good teams. I don't think there's like Ohio State 2 years ago, just going to run through everyone. I don't think there's a team like that. So we'll talk about that in August.
We will talk about that. It sounds good. All right, guys. Once again, thank you all very much. We certainly appreciate it. Make sure you say hello to our sponsors that we started this week. 4 big sponsors with us. And as we always say, at the end of every show, the only thing that's fair in life is a baseball hit between the third and first base lines. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being on board. We appreciate it.
If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit on the far end of the bench.